There we go. Now it looks like we're working. I don't know what the heck's going on.
Yeah, it
And
was weird.
everything
Like
shows
the
weird.
StreamYard link you sent me earlier sent me direct to like my StreamYard.
Okay, well, hopefully everything is good. What's happening, Fish and Friends? Welcome to another live. We had a few technical difficulties tonight. Sorry, everybody. We had audio issues, and then it took me a couple times to get into StreamYard. So let us know if audio is finally okay. Baxter said his end's a little soft on voices. I think we're good. Let us know. Let us know. Did Stubby eat some wires? No, Stubby is down here, though. Hopefully he doesn't get romantic with any pillows. I know. Okay, loud and clear. Sounds good, it says.
Pillow time.
It's pillows. All right, good. What's happening, Fish and Friends? Tonight, I'm excited because, of course, we got the Dizzle. Always happy when the Dizzle grace us with his presence. And it's been a minute. We got Mr. Baxter, the Baitman, with us. What's up, brother? You might not be able to hear us.
I can hear you. You're both just really faint. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, I don't think I can.
I just
change that.
I turned mine up. Did that help at all?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just didn't want to talk you over. Of course, I actually had a tab open with the YouTube, and I was like, man, what's going on? I hear some crazy delay. And then I noticed I was playing it in the background too.
That's strange. Somebody said you sound miles away. I don't know. I think there might be some StreamYard issues. You sound fine on mine, so I don't know if it's me or what. But he said audio sounds great. Other people are saying we're good. So hopefully we're good. I don't know. We're going to start rolling with it. We wasted enough time here trying to get everything going. So
yeah, no kidding.
Tonight should be fun because we've got some new baits. I want to pick Baxter's brain on what he thinks are some new favorite baits, and one of my cords here is stuck. Some baits coming up, baits that he's excited to use. Randall, I know I've got a couple to show you that I think you might be excited about. So, Baitman, what's up in your neck of the woods?
Well,
or Randy, go ahead. Sorry.
No, Baxter, go ahead.
Long story short, I did upload a video that's I did a tackle warehouse unboxing. I'm usually not pretty huge on those, but I know guys like it. You know, a lot of my subscribers got to pick the baits, and I put some stuff in there. So that's on my channel. Just uploaded that about an hour ago. But we'll get into some of that stuff. And if you want me to go more in detail, I guess go over there. But I did get something because I watched one of your videos. You know, Debo, I actually do watch your videos.
I appreciate that.
I really like.
I watch very little YouTube.
You did a good job on this bait. I don't have much room in here, so I've had to put this stuff on the ground in this giant box. But I really like this bait for a couple reasons. And it's a jig. It's a hybrid jig. If I can find it here. And it's that, there it is. And you picked the right color, buddy, because this is right up my alley. That's this right here. This first gen Flash X. Man, I like this thing. Like, there's a lot of cool things going on in this bait. Number one, this thing right here is not near as expensive as the Megabass UO swimmer, or however you pronounce it. I'm from Kentucky, so we get our syllables mixed up and vowels. But I really like this. It seems very versatile. You know, this would be a great bait too in that late spring, the shad spawn. But one thing I'm thinking about this is just swimming this with a little swim bait and behind it around a boat dock. You know what I mean? And so we get a lot of fish this time of year where I'm at that they like those shallow boat docks, boat ramps, and they're feeding on those small shad. Very versatile bait, I think. You could fish this like a spinnerbait, like a swim jig. You could throw it, reel it a few times, let it fall down. I like that little wire too. Even though it's a kind of a smaller blade, I don't think you have to have a big thumping blade on this. But I saw you use this in a video, and I said, dude, I think I'm going to have to grab one of those.
Yeah, I've had a look on it a few different days. The only thing I'm wondering about is, so with the hardware here, if you look, it's got like it's titanium wire, which is really nice because it doesn't like bend. So it's not like a spinnerbait wire. It pops back. But the only thing I wonder and worry about is that hardware going to get in the way of any hook sets? Because I did notice I had one fish that I missed. And when I brought it in, now I don't know how often this is going to happen. It was like stuck in that somehow, like in the swivel. So I don't know how many times that's going to actually happen. But, oh, yeah, this is one that I modified. So I had a Reaction Innovations little dipper on here. And I put some of these Zappu spinny blade deals on the end to try
that's
it.
cool.
Yeah, just messing with stuff. I like to tinker. So I don't know. That's like the spinacopter. Yeah.
I looked at the black and blue one, and I was thinking, man, it'd be cool to use that at night, but the blade's so tiny.
Small, yeah.
And I like night fishing. I don't know how you could do it where it had a little bit bigger blade on there, like that would have some thump.
My guy Jermaine, yeah, I did type in the chat. I did want to say thank you to all the members. We had a members only live this week. I've been a little bit behind, but I did give away. I was going to give away a Metanium, but the winner actually picked a Daiwa Zillion. So I bought the winner a Daiwa Zillion.
I guess I'm going to have to join your channel if you're giving away Metaniums.
Yeah, man. It's dude, JDM prices are low right now. I talked about it a couple weeks ago on a live, and man, they're selling out quick. So I don't know how long it's going to last, but yeah, members got a who was it that won? Philip Marlowe. Philip Marlowe won the Zillion, and I did find him a 7-speed. So
dude,
thanks to him. Thanks to Jermaine for upping. Thanks to everybody in here. I see some other YouTubers. Gramps, Punch, who was just on last week. Yeah. Daniel was a winner. Mr. Brennan Chapman, don't trust anything that guy says.
He looks like he can catch him. He's got some nice smallies in that profile picture.
Dude, that dude can catch him like hell. Except for when I go with him, I curse him. So he catches big fish with everybody else. So yeah, I'm excited. What else do you got over there that maybe a couple of your favorites out of that unboxing?
Ooh, so I'll be honest, my favorites aren't the most expensive, but I did get a bait that's really unique. This is from a company that not a lot of guys know about. This is from a company called Strike Pro, not Strike King, but Strike Pro. And they're actually based overseas somewhere. And they did sponsor a couple pros years ago. I think Andrew Upshaw and Todd Castledine. And they made that the Bubba, which is basically the Strike King Hybrid Hunter, 6-inch swing. But this little bait, a member of my channel said, grab this. And it's called the Hunchback Wake. And of course, you know, you got to have that chartreuse and purple. You cannot go fishing without that color. But
big fan of that.
This thing's really loud. Listen to this if you don't hear it in the mic.
Dang.
Dude. So it's you know, kind of a medium-sized wake bait. And it just looks good. It's kind of got a matte finish. It's not really shiny. I don't know if y'all can see this on the camera. It's a very matte finish. I'm kind of excited about throwing this thing, especially like at the edge of some grass lines. Or we got a lot of stumps here, stuff like that. I think it'd also make a killer pond bait because I still love pond fishing. You know what I mean? But this is just a really unique bait. I love how loud it is. It's got some sharp hooks. It's different. I'm always into some different stuff.
You said that's a wake bait?
Yeah. And this is kind of wake bait time. This transition zone we're in. It's still hot here, but in the mornings it's no wind and cool and a lot of fog. That's a really good time to throw a wake bait.
Man, it's all day long today. It's been sunny and downpouring all day long here today. It's like,
yeah, weird as hell. Thanks,
so
Iowa,
weird.
for being stupid.
Yeah, we've had like record heat
here
all year. What's up, Bass
Geeks? Smacking Bass in here. What's up, brother? When's the big swim bait talk? Dude, you know I am like not the guy to talk. I love them. They're fun. I love painting them. So far, I've only caught 2 fish on big swim baits. One that was like literally smaller than the bait. And then I think 2.5, 3-pounder was my other one. So let's see. I'll go real quick. I've got Baxter. I want to pick your brain on this. Randy, he has, I would say, do you think still the free rig has caught you the most fish this year?
Either that or actually Gramps is in here, right?
I don't know. I'm missing people. Chat always flies so damn quick, which I love that people talk, but
even if Gramps isn't in here, I would have to say it's either the free rig or a jackhammer.
Oh, yeah, same. So this is the DEBO'S Bull Flat. I know like a lot of JDM guys talked about this one. I got it specifically for the free rig. I want to throw out some more. Rainey's been crushing on the free rig. Is it anything you've thrown or that you dabble in, Baxter?
I'm not a free rig guy, and that's just lack of experience on it. So the guy that owns OSP, Osprey Spiritual Performers, name's Toshi. Great guy. He come fishing with Mark Menendez here on Lake X. I fish Lake X all the time. And so Mark calls me. He's like, dude, you won't believe how Toshi caught 2 7-pounders. And I'm like, well, you're going to have to tell me. He says, it's on this thing called the free rig. You ever heard of it? And I'm like, yeah, actually, a lot of people are always asking me, what's this for a free rig? What's that? And he explained it to me. He's like, and he caught him on an OSP bait that's very similar. It's called the Do Live Beaver. And he caught him on that free rig.
That's a big one people have been talking about. It's funny that you say that. Yeah.
So I've had a lot of people say, get those bull flats. But I got this one, which is kind of similar. And
I want to give a shout out to Frank real quick.
Good Texas rig bait. Oh, my daughter's in here. This could get wild, but
that's all right. Frank was pitching with the $5 bomb.
This is a Nordy's flip gill, and so this is really cool. I got knocked out. All right,
no, I made you big.
Flip gill here, so you can see it's kind of got 2 little kicking legs, like a double tail grub. Thing is really thin. Look at that. I mean, it is flat like a pancake. But the idea is this is a really good free rig bait because when it falls, it's going to glide down. And
that's what they said the bull flat's
really
supposed to do too. Yeah, so it's like this gliding circular deal.
And they're also on sale on Tackle Warehouse, by the way.
I'll have to look those up.
I know punch fishing likes the free rig pretty well.
Hey, I gotta ask you. I tuned into a live. I don't know if it was a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that, and you had a bunch of stuff, and you were talking about the Plano Edge boxes. What's the deal? What's the hate towards the Plano Edge? That's what I was catching anyway.
So the only thing I got against some of the Plano Edge is I really can't get that many baits in them.
Sure.
And they're really expensive.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest gripe.
100% agree. Yeah, they're super, super expensive. But at the same time, I have I use them for like jigs, swim bait, or not swim baits, but like chatter baits or anything like that where I can kind of just cram a bunch of stuff in there. And, I really, really, really like them for like terminal tackle or jigs or things like that. I was just wondering, I didn't have a whole lot of time to listen to the live. I just wanted to jump in and watch it for a smidge. And I know there was a lot of, as the kids would say, shade being thrown at the Plano edges.
Yeah. I don't really have like a personal issue. It's just, like I said, so a lot of my fishing has always been power fishing. That's why I have so many crankbaits and stuff like that. Now I do like, and it's really expensive, that new Plano frog box. The one where you can hook the frogs and they dangle.
DEBO?
I would pay $50 for that. I'm not gonna lie. Just because there's not a really good frog box on the market.
That's crazy. Because that's one that I'm like, how did that win? I think that's the dumbest thing out there.
Really? So I could see modifying that into making that a box to hang swim baits from. If you hung your swim baits, your tail's not going to get damaged.
Yeah, I know a lot of. I was surprised more companies don't do that. There's like a musky box that has like PVC cones in it that they use for a lot of the like cowboys and like bigger musky baits. And that seems like that would be perfect for a lot of the bigger swim baits to put it nose down. And then the soft tail stays up.
Right. I just got this pro boxes in Dizzle, and they're pretty nice. Now, they're not something crazy fancy, but for the price, like I actually loaded one up earlier. I had this one box that Rich had shown me, the Plano double-sided box. Oh, I love those.
Okay.
And so I had a bunch of balsa, but I couldn't fit any more balsa because I love balsa crankbait. So I just took this one, and I was able to almost fit the whole box of these balsa flat sides in here.
Nice.
And see, I've still got space for more baits, man. So that's one thing I really like about this. Now, I've heard they're not the most waterproof box ever.
Okay, hi.
So we'll see. Neil got invaded by the daughter.
I honestly, somebody said, I don't know who it was, the Flambeau for my crankbaits and things like that. The Flambeau coffin boxes, the stand-up boxes. Man, I think I have 6 or 7 of those that I just throw all of my, treble hook baits into. Those things are amazing.
Yeah. So this Plano box style right here. I mean, these are cheap. These are like $10 or something, but these are really cool, especially if like you're a bank angler or you're a tackle hoarder like me, because you got this one side. And so I've got all my wobbler balsas. So these are all my fat bodied balsas that are going to wobble real hard. I got them up top, and then you can open it on the bottom as well. And see, I've got some spare hooks and swivels and stuff like that. These are my big fat, like these are giant flat sides, like this size right here. But so now I've got 2 balsa boxes, but I like these double sided.
That's pretty sick. I like that.
A lot of stuff in here. So
yeah, you should definitely.
I do really like from Plano, and I'd love to see more companies kind of integrate that.
You should definitely check out those Flambeau, the coffin boxes that they have.
Yeah.
The biggest thing about those that I like is that it's a stand-up box, so you can fit like maybe two baits in there at least, but they're not in that longer section of a tackle box where they tend to get hooked up with each other. Like I said, I can throw a ton of baits in there, and I can pull one out by itself. I notice you use like the little rubber band on the hooks there.
Yeah.
I don't have access to those right now, but like those Flambeau boxes are super amazing as far as what I've come across so far. Not conducive for bank fishing because they are a much bigger box, but they are, very good for keeping your baits separate and things like that.
Yeah, so I'm one of those guys. I'll go through my phases where, like, obviously I got a bunch of Bass Mafia up here, and those guys were always really good to me, the original guys, and I like their stuff. But man, I don't really have a connection there anymore, and it's expensive. That's the only big knock I have on Bass Mafia.
Their boxes
are quite a bit higher. Honestly, those Spros, I feel like I can get more baits, but if you need those rubber bands, let me know. My wife's a cosmetologist, and she'll go to like the supply store and get me a bag of 500 for like $5.
Really?
Dang. Yeah, I got to get my act together on crankbaits. I keep mine in one big box, so that way when I pull them out, everything comes out. That way I can see exactly what I have.
Yeah, that's what you. And so you can say, I'm going to toss this one.
I'm going to throw this
all up at once. Yeah,
the everything rig. Let's see, what else do I have? These aren't
You
really
got some
new,
comments
but
you respond to, Debo. I can't answer these free rig comments. I just
yes. I'm sorry, Eliza. So I've been throwing the 3/16 and quarter. That's what Randy's been throwing.
Yep, I think I have some 3/8 also. No, 3/16. Yep, what Debo said.
I'm not a free rig aficionado though, so more work with it. But from what I've thrown, I need to do a pool test because a lot of people are like, "How is it different than an unpegged Texas rig?" But when you look at an unpegged Texas rig, like it goes straight down, like weight goes straight down, and the bait comes behind it pretty quick. With the free rig, because that like swings free, I notice it comes down and then the bait comes after it and like swirls down, almost like a mix between a Texas rig and a Carolina rig. It like there's more of a delay behind it. And when you pop it and hop it, it's not like a Texas rig where it tends to stay close. You can like pop that free rig and still have a little bit of line back here, like a split shot rig before it gets right up next to it. So
interesting. I'm gonna have to add that to my repertoire.
it's just something different about it. I don't remember who brought it up, but somebody was like, "Oh, check out the free rig," and for whatever reason, I did, and I started using it, and it's been dynamite. There's just something different about it, the way it flutters, the way it floats, the way it, like Debo was saying, the way it drops, something totally different. But the thing I do want to say is I use the WOO tungstens. First of all, they put the weight size on the actual
Did you know Ric
weight
Flair owns
itself.
that company? That's why they named it that.
I hope so. So the woo they put the actual weight on the lure, or excuse me, on the weight itself, the actual size of it. But the thing is you want to make sure and keep that clean, because even if you just look at it quick and you toss it back out, you may have like some scum or some junk caught up in that little eye loop that you want to pull out of there, because if you don't, it's just like a peg Texas rig at that point in time. It just sinks straight down and you don't get the same action out of it. So make sure you keep it clean.
I'm like
So
the
here's
world's
one, I don't
worst
know.
guy at tossing a bunch of tungsten, and I don't even know the weights. I just guess.
So this is a pretty cool little dude. They're small. I finally got him in from Tackle Warehouse. The Rusty Craw was back ordered, but I mean, this looks Rusty Craw color very well around here. We've got them. They're an invasive species. But these are the Power Bait Lil Trooper. They're 2.5 inches, so they're small, smaller than I thought, I guess, when I ordered them. But like for creek fishing or like stream fishing or something, I bet these would be absolute dynamite. We've got some places around here when you see the crawfish hatch and like they're all out on the bank when you see them. They're just little crawfish like that, little tiny dudes. So I'm hoping some ponds and stuff around here, those might be good, but we'll see. Stephen Dacey with the $10 bomb. Thank you, my friend. He said, finally got out to fish even with the broken leg. Sitting down bass fishing is weird. Yeah, dude, I hate sitting down and fishing. Hate it. That's one of the reasons I don't even want to get a kayak. Like, I don't know.
I caught my biggest bass this year sitting down. Of course, I was in a bass boat, but
dang, I hate it. It feels weird to me.
I think it's because I was throwing a Carolina rig.
Oh, and just dragging it.
Yeah. I've literally never thrown a Carolina rig before in my life.
Really?
Oh, Randall, missing out. Yeah, it's hard from the bank though. Like as far as bank fishing, it's not real conductive to like a split shot rig. I used to throw that a lot, or like a Mojo rig they call it now. But Steven said he finally got to throw the Debo colored D-bombs. I appreciate you for picking some up, man. He said thanks for all you do in the community. I try, brother. I try a lot. I'm just a dude though, so I appreciate that. What else you got, Baxter? Do you have any other favorites? Randy, do you got any favorites? Anything new, fun to show?
Speaking of Ned baits, it's nothing wild, but I kind of wasn't too, not to throw shade. My buddy's the vice president of this company, and I was like, man, y'all really got me pumped up for a 3-inch Ned bait. But I did get some of the new Yamamoto Ned Cincos. And one, I really like this color. But
I saw those come out.
You can tell what was different in these. Like,
yeah, because they float.
There's a Ned Cinco. That's watermelon moon dust. And I like this color because it's kind of transparent. It's still got some flash. But if you'll notice, unlike another Cinco, it's a little bit more durable. Definitely different plastic. It's supposed to make it stand up. But you notice there's no salt coming out of this thing. Like, you can take a normal Cinco and rub your fingers through it like that, and usually salt pours out, but there's no salt in these guys. It's got a good texture, good feel to it. You can tell it's going to have a little action. I'm not a huge Ned rig guy. I do throw it every now and then. So I bought some of these, and I like them. I think that's a good move for Yamamoto because they've obviously got a bunch of loyal guys that are probably just taking Cincos and cutting them in half.
Uh-oh.
Baxter's daughter chewed through his internet line. I lost him. Did you lose him on your end?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna jump over to chat. I've been ignoring chat. I'm sorry, everyone. I think Eliza was asking what specific one do I use. I got some from. Oh, there you're back. You froze for a minute,
wild.
Baxter. Yeah, Eliza, I got some from Woo Tungsten. Randy and I got some. They had them on sale. And then there's another place. God, what is the name of that? I'll look here. I'll show you. I'll do a share real quick because I wanted to look at those boxes that Baxter was talking about too. Those are pretty sweet. Ephraim was another winner from the members live. What did Ephraim win? He won half the Okeechobee Crawbaits. Thanks to Philip Cheek for doing the sponsorship on that and sending a bunch of stuff over.
I don't know what's going on. My Xbox doesn't work anymore. Junior burned it up playing Roblox, so I don't know why my internet would be going up there. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, like it's smart. Now I got a little upset with him yesterday. I was exporting my YouTube video, and I had to go use the bathroom. Of course, I was in there on TikTok, like most males do. And I come back, and he's on the laptop. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's making a Roblox map. And I'm like, all right, I don't want you on a laptop, but you're 9 years old and you're making a Roblox map and you installed the software yourself, so you're pretty smart.
Wow.
It always makes me laugh. I watch this guy on YouTube. He has this long running, not a joke, but like this thing they bring up all the time. I guess his kid spent like thousands of dollars buying Roblox. And so they just bring it up all the time. And I guess he ended up getting a bunch of money back, but still, it's hilarious. Every time I hear somebody bring up Roblox, I'm like, dude, it could be worse. You could have a kid that sneaks in and spends thousands of dollars on whatever it is.
Yeah, at least it wasn't subscribing to random OnlyFans. But it's funny you say that because when he was about 6 or 7, he started playing Fortnite a little bit, and I didn't have the parental password put on there, and he spent about $400 on Fortnite. But we got our money.
Oh, what? Holy crap!
Eesh.
He's like, "Oh, you're gonna give me the reins? All righty, here we go."
Pretty much. So now you got to enter a passcode anytime you get to buy something or even log on, but it don't work. I think my power supply burned up, but he usually likes to watch my stream, so I told him I was going to be on DEBO'S channel, and we'll see.
I can't remember the name of that. There's a tungsten company out there. I got them, and they have the big thing you want to watch for is that they have this open eye, this round eye on these.
It should just be Woo, WOO.
Yeah, Woo was one of them. I think most people know them, but I was looking for. There's another brand where I got a bunch of like the little cylinder. They're like little black tungsten cylinder. They're basically these, but
you did. I know one thing is.
I don't think it's Arc.
God, what are they?
There's Arc makes some. Woo does. Swagger.
Oh, is it? It might be Swagger.
Hey, while you're right there, you don't have to stay there. But so I got a question for you too. I think it's
Swagger. These. Yep.
What's your take
Swagger's
on a colored weight? Does that have anything to do with anything? A colored weight, so it's black, it's red, it's green pumpkin, it's whatever. Does that have anything to do with anything?
My personal opinion, I like black, or I like a silver. Like if I'm fishing out deep, like a big worm, I've always liked a silver weight. I don't know why. Sometimes I feel like when that worm's falling, especially fishing brush pile stuff, it just has a little bit of flash, and sometimes I think it gets their attention. Now the OCD in me, I used to like to want to match them up. Back when there was true tungsten and all that, I matched my green worms with the green weight and red with red. But in the last few years, I've really decided that even those weights they advertise, they don't chip and all that, I don't think it matters. I've caught so many fish on just a silver tungsten weight that I can't find a ratio of fish catch to colored weight and non-colored weight that's like totally different. And you're fishing. Sometimes when you're fishing deep, I don't think they really care that maybe shallow, clear water. I could see an issue with that, but
I've never noticed one way or another, and I might as well just go ahead and be the polar bear and break the ice here and say that I haven't used any, but I know the Googans make a bright green
Oh, we had to
tungsten
get it
weight.
in.
I know I've in the past had like a red weight, black, green pumpkin, the silver, the whole nine, the kind of basic gunmetal-ish. I just didn't know if you guys had any hot takes on whether or not it was important one way or another that use one color or not.
I think it's what you're. I'll be honest. I think it's what you're confident in. Like, I
Sure.
feel the same way, Dizzle. So if I need a 1/4 ounce worm weight, it doesn't matter if it's matte, black, silver, red, green. I just tie it on there. I had no problem. I'd use a lime green tungsten worm weight. If I need that weight, then I'm going to use it.
Nice.
So Gramps said, check out American Legacy. I posted on them. They put some more used stuff up for sale, but he said they do their own. I didn't even know that.
That's
yeah,
nice.
$5.
And you can make
1/4
4
ounce?
interest-free payments of $1.25 a month.
Yeah, I always use Afterpay. Dude, a 5-pack for $5 a buck each. I know it sounds crazy, but that's pretty cheap. Those Swagger ones were $5.19 for a 3-pack of 1/4 ounce. So, wow. And American Legacy. I know Gramps. Thanks for showing. I'd never heard of these guys before until Gramps got hooked up with them. But they have a used section, which I've been looking at. Now, I've only got like the stuff that's like excellent or very good. So I'm not sure the stuff that's like good or like it might be pretty roached out. But I know I've had good luck buying from that too. So I know people are always asking, how do you get cheap gear or of any deals? Check out them. It's a good mention, Gramps.
Yeah, so American Legacy is just like 2 hours from me in Evansville.
Oh, no crap.
Yeah, and several years ago, I worked at a tackle shop and I did a kind of a trade-in program similar, and I would always call them and ask them like, "Hey, if I'm giving this guy this," and the guy I always talked to name was Adam. He was really cool, and Adam always helped me out. But they know their stuff, and they're the best in the game at it, and they're not going to take any junk in that's used. So if you buy something used from them, it's going to be pretty.
That's good to know.
Yeah, no, Debo, what was it, good or like pretty okay? Whatever that
Very
one
good.
reel was you got was like immaculate.
It looked like nobody had touched
fresh
it.
Out of the box.
Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, check them out. They got some good prices. I know they had some $100 reels for like $70, $75, and I think they have extra off right now. So
yeah, sometimes
Army Outdoors.
Get, a lot of people don't know this, and I don't know if I should say this, but sometimes they get they'll buy demo rods, like they'll go like Dobbins or Shimano or Jackal, whoever that there is trade show. And a lot of times the owner of ALF would just be like, "Hey, I'll give you X amount of dollar for all your rods. You don't have to ship them back or whatnot like that." And they'll go, "Okay." And then you're basically buying a brand new rod. When they say demo, it was a show demo. It wasn't demoed on the water. You can get an NRX or a Poison Ardena for like half price. I mean, it's a smart business deal for him. I mean, think about it. He's going to take something off somebody. He's going to make his money on it, and he's going to give a customer something at a really good price. So,
yeah,
I don't know if they still do that. They used to do that.
A show demo versus a Walmart demo, huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
Because both the combos that I've got at Walmart, I've had to dig through the whole rack to find a line guide that wasn't broke. And one of them I even missed. But yeah, don't sleep on the Walmart combos. That they have the Shimano Caius combo there at ours for $99 for a rod and reel. So if you're looking for one, that's been a solid one for me.
Dude, my local academy's been having some banging deals lately. I'm not a Duckett fan, but they had some Duckett Silverados the other day for like $49.
Gramps, plug your ears.
We don't have any academies, dude. I wish we did. I've never been to one.
I was in Oklahoma, Tulsa, actually at the end of June, early July, and I was looking up, addresses because I saw that they had some academies there, and time just happened to run out, and I didn't get over there, and I was kind of kicking myself because that's one place I remember a long time ago, Debo, the Westdale Mall actually had an academy in it. But it was just like Apparel Academy. Yeah, like this was a long time ago.
Wow. Ralph, I did see Ralph in the house. Mr. Army Outdoors, thanks for the $10 bomb, brother. Caught some good ones in southern Indiana with Gramps and OEF Outlaw. It was an amazing gathering. The Freedom Squad. Who's good live tonight, brother. Dude, that's awesome.
Man. I really respect Gramps and all his guys. Thank you all for your service.
Yep. Thank you guys so much.
Sure. Thank you.
It's one reason I got this new hat from Tackle Warehouse. It's probably one of my favorite things. It fits me really good, but I always, I like the patriotic stuff. I wasn't in the service or whatnot, but my wife and my family's had several people, and I always like to show some support.
Absolutely. Yes, for sure.
This is what else I got in here, Debo. I know you saw my Instagram reel about Reaction Innovations and commented.
I did. Neil Bone Fishing. Neil's a good follower. He said, "Hey, Debo, babe, how are you?" with a kiss. I'm good, brother. Thanks for always supporting. Appreciate you.
Do you have any of these? This is the machete worm from Reaction Innovations.
I do.
I don't think a lot of people even know about these.
I do. I actually just got some in the tramp stamp. I have.
Oh, same. It's like we're the same person. This is exactly what I got going on here.
Is that the split tail, or what is that tail?
Yeah, so this tail is like a speed worm.
It's like a cut worm, cut tail
worm. And if you wanted to, you could pinch that off, and you would kind of have a slimmer version of a pocket rocket / Cinco.
Yeah.
So, pro tip on this: if you have guys bite this worm, they bite the tail off, you still got basically a soft stick bait out of this thing.
Yeah, you got a Cinco right there. Yeah, that's one thing that I've really started to think more outside the box of. If I have some kind of lure, or especially with trailers for jigs and things like that, if they pull one of the claws off, I'm still gonna throw that. Back in the day, I used to pull that thing off, throw it away, and put a new one on. And now I'm like, if it's got one craw, that means, it's a little less aggressive of a bait and, things like that. Or in that instance, if they pull that little cutter tail off, whatever you want to call it, stick bait, man. Come on.
Stick bait. Or you could use it as a shaky head. Those would be good for a bigger shaky head too.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people asking about Vixens in the chat. Debo, did you grab any, Debo?
Dude, finally, Vixen is, so I know Baxter's, and it's kind of a cult following of baits. I don't necessarily buy into the hype, not enough to buy one of the $200 BS from some price gouger on eBay. But I guess, so backing up a step, I got some of actually I got one here that I showed the other night. Have you used the Excite based Heckler? So they were saying this one was supposed to be basically a copy of it. I don't know if they got the design or anything. I've heard the same thing about the Teckle, is it Kick Knocker or whatever it's called? They're supposed to be a copy of it.
Yeah, there's just a huge story behind all that, and I don't want to get into politics of things because I like Teckle, I like Reaction Innovations. Excites, that's a really good company. They've sent me stuff, and I've gave it away, and I like a lot of their stuff. Actually, they're very underrated. A lot of guys don't talk about them, but they make an awesome big worm. But I've never been the guy that will tell you that the OG Vixen just catches more fish than the other models because there's been days when the new model shines and the OG one doesn't catch them. But there's some guys you just cannot get it through to them. It's kind of like a wiggle wart. You guys swear by the old one.
That's what I was just going to say. That's what I was just going to ask. Yeah, I did. I finally got one. I got a white one. Baxter and I actually were just talking before. Tackle Warehouse, which I don't know if they still do. We can jump over and look. But they had white and
chartreuse shiner, maybe.
Which actually I should have bought both, but I just made a quick order because I love that chartreuse shiner. I forget what they call it in the Zara Spook, but that's a killer color around here. It's just a little bit different. I think it's a little more opaque. But I grabbed a white one, and I did get one of the limited edition because I had to re-up on some Reaction Innovation stuff anyway. So I ordered directly from them and got, it was like $30, kind of ridiculous, but it's a limited deal. It says Vixen on the side. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm like, listen, I've never had one. I want to try them and see what the the hub is all about. Hubbub. What am I doing
So-
here? Why am I just?
You're gonna pull up one of those baits because I was just gonna
Yeah.
ask. Did I say no? I was gonna ask. Vixen.
There's the machete that Baxter was
it-
talking about. In Tramp
I was
Stamp,
just
one of
trying
the
to
best
look here.
colors ever made.
Do they make ice fishing jigs as well? Or am
Reaction
I on the wrong
Innovations?
Vixen? No, Vixen.
No, the Vixen's the name of the Topwater bait, so it's Reaction Innovations is the company.
Oh, okay, gotcha. My bad. Because I looked up Vixen because I have no idea what you guys are talking about because I'm, that kind of fishing person that was like, I like the shiny one with sparkles on it.
Dude, nothing wrong with that.
And
You
I
know
was
what you
like,
like,
oh.
you don't know the name. That's okay.
I was like,
okay.
this company, I've got a couple of these ice fishing jigs, but totally different company.
So yeah, I did grab one. I like that chartreuse shiner. What's the in the Zara Spook one called? And it looks kind of corny. That's the only thing I hate in Zara.
Yeah, I think they call it Oaky Shad in the spook color. I could be wrong.
Let's look real quick. That does sound right now that you say that. Head lures, yeah, Oaky Shad.
It's really weird because I'll throw that color in a Super Spook Junior, or I got some of those Boyos. That's a really cool bait.
Oh yeah,
in that color.
Yeah,
oh,
yep, the Oaky Shad. But yeah, the only thing I hate about that one is it's like, I don't know, it looks cheap, like the drawing stuff on it. I wish they just took that off. I don't know.
Holy
but yeah,
cow.
I love the head and stuff. So
catch enough fish on it, it will come off.
they do, yes. I like that color too. It's like the
I just pulled up the Reaction Innovations website, in the limited edition. What is this thing called? The matte black limited edition Vixen. Dude, that thing looks sick.
Yeah.
That's
so a lot of
the one
people
I
don't know. On the back, there's a little design, and it's actually a caveman giving the middle finger.
On the back, there is?
That's what I was told by the guy.
I need to see some more pictures here. I'm just looking at the side, and it looks like, when you first glance at it, it looks like just like fish scales, but it actually says Vixen written on the side of it. That thing looks, holy cow. Debo, I just got to jump out here and say, dude, I kind of hate you right now because, like, you talk about all these lures and all these things, and like,
dude, I ask you every time I put in an order, I'm like, do you want anything? I'll treat you to a gift. Let me know some things you want. Last time I said, hey, is there any new rods or reels you need? Oh, I don't know, I'm cleaning the garage.
Well, you're supposed to meet up today, and I figured you were gonna bring me that rod you said you were gonna.
I ain't bringing you anything.
Oh, wow.
If I ever make it to Iowa, Dizzle, I will bring you some baits. I promise.
Debo always talks about all these crazy baits, and he has all these names and all these things running through his head. And then I'm like, oh, Debo, what's that one? It's got the flappy things and the hooks on it. It looks super awesome. You did a video about it, because I watch all of Debo's videos. I like them, thumbs up them, the whole nine. I'm already subscribed. I can't do any much more there, but it's like, I don't know. I don't understand how you guys know what all the hell these baits are called and things like that, and how you keep track of them, because they have so many crazy names to them. It's just insane.
It's because I don't have anything else to do but work and watch fishing videos.
Yep.
I mean, it's just like anything else. I got into sports cards, and dude, it's the same way. These guys know so much about these things.
Oh yeah,
it just looks normal to me. That, oh no, well, this is a limited variation. I'm like, okay, whatever. But speaking of Reaction Innovations, Debo, I don't know if you got any of these. This is the new fat flirt worm.
Holy
this
cow.
is
got
quite
the regular.
Like, so the small flirt is a lot smaller, has a different tail, but look at this tail. This is what's cool.
I think the
about
tail's
this.
the same.
Doesn't this look like a Phillips screwdriver?
Yeah, they've got that club.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Is it the 6.95, almost 7 inch, I guess?
This one's 8 1/4 inches. Of course, this is Magic Cross Swirl. A lot of people don't know this, but Reaction was really the first company to do that Magic Cross Swirl color, and now, it's a staple around everybody. Now they may call it different, but then I got.
So I've got one of the.
I got this plum color.
Methylate. Yeah, they have the same
Oh, yeah, they do.
Phillips head screwdriver tails. Yeah, they're pretty cool on a shaky head.
Yeah, so I got the big one. I think they call this plum fruit or fruit cup plum or something like that. And that's just man, if you don't know what color worm to buy green pumpkin or plum, you're probably going to get bit. Or red shad. I think that goes about
Or
everywhere.
tequila sunrise if they make it.
Okeechobee crawl.
I like Okeechobee crawl. That's a good one.
Dude, I had never seen these back there. Have you ever fished these? Buddy Philip, Chief of the channel. Oh, and I got these too. I'll show this one from Thunderhawk. But I'm a big culprit fan. I don't know. I feel kind of dumb that I've never thrown these, but these are the 7-inch Fat Max. So it almost looks like the Strike King Anaconda kind of look to it with like the bigger, fatter tail.
Yeah.
And like a
almost
fatter
like
body.
A gator tail kind of deal.
Yeah.
Dude. So of course my dad's
thrown these.
But back in the day he used to always get those solid white ones and cut them a little bit, and that was his spinnerbait trailer.
Spinnerbait. Yes, dude. Dude, I've got that or the old man's auger tail. Dude.
Oh yeah.
You couldn't beat those. I think I've still got some of those. Not the old gator tails, but let's look real quick. Yeah, it's funny because like nobody else. These were some of the ones that we got. Were these man's? These were.
Have you guys looked at the double wide beaver yet?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's a big beaver.
Yeah, I'm just looking at
Randy loves a big beaver. See, that's what they were. These
right
are the
there, dude. On a spinnerbait, man.
Dude, this is what it was. That's the spinnerbait trailer. When you talk about a spinner worm, those right there. They got that little. Yep.
Yeah, like back in the day, that's what
funny.
you used. There was no like skinny dippers or swim baits. I guess it's sassy shad, but the old school guys, they used those white, auger tail worms on there. Did you get any of these? I got some. I'm pretty impressed with the Missile Baits magic worms.
I did. Dude, the June bug in those is ridiculously beautiful.
Yeah, June bug dream. Man, this thing.
So
I'm not a huge June bug guy. I'm more of a plum or a black and blue. But, man, that thing.
Reaction Innovations, Jesse, if you're talking about that Flirt, that big worm.
Yep.
Those Reaction Innovations.
Yep.
And it's the 8.5 or 8.25, something like that.
Yeah. So this isn't as fat as like the Reaction Innovations worm, but you can tell it's a hand pour. So Robo Worm actually pours these for Missile. I love that, two companies collaborated to make something awesome like that. But I really like that June bug dream right there. It actually has a little bit of a green hint to it. You look at it, I don't know if fish can tell, but I can. I like that. I think that's going to be a solid producing worm.
Yeah, I threw it. I just was testing it at my tank, man. They look good. They look real good. I spent for people asking, there's been people asking about my test tank. I've had cloudiness issues. So I finally took like 3/4 of the water out today and spent like 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours, going back and forth to PetSmart, getting new rock. I got some plants for it that they said should help clear it up. But hopefully I'll be able to do some more tank tests because it's really cool to see kind of like, especially what was I testing in there the other day? And I'm like, even at like sitting at idle. Oh, I don't know if it was these or not. Shout out to Do It. I don't know if Brennan's still in here, but I was testing these and something else. But like, that's their new Katana Craw. There was something else too, but the way that like stuff moves when like you're not even touching it, like if you've got a bass just sitting there looking at it, I think we all get or are guilty of like popping a bait and hopping a bait and jiggling it too much. But dude, sometimes just leaving it there, it's crazy what a bait will do, just not even touching it.
Yeah. So when I had my swimming pool in working condition, which is not a lot of times, like I'd like to throw a worm or a creature bait down there. You'll hop it and whatnot. It's amazing what some baits will do when it's just sitting there. Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So a beaver, what I noticed a lot of times, a beaver, when the weight hit, like it was on a Texas or the weight were hit, the beaver, it would like scurry away from the weight. It was really weird. Like it would hit and sit and it just start moving away from the weight.
That's cool. And the other thing too is like you don't realize, because like I'll talk to people about, you know, bait caster speeds and all that, and like you don't realize. Well, obviously, it depends on the size of the spool, how much you're bringing in, but how much you bring in just moving your rod and then like turning the handle once. Because if you look at like a 7-speed reel, that's like 32 inches. That's almost a yardstick of one quick little turn, you know. So I think that helps people too. Like, you know, I was messing in my girls' pool with it, with baits and stuff. And yeah, just like doing one drag across, how much it's almost gone out of the view of the GoPro. But
also, like, you don't realize, like, all right, so get on my soapbox a little bit. We do this technique with the jig here on Kentucky Lake. It's called stroking. It was really invented here. And so I'm watching Matt Allen on Tactical Bass, and don't worry, I'm not throwing shade because I text him this exact same thing. So he's talking about really ripping it and, you know, over your head and all this, like double pumping it. The way we have always done it here is just one solid rip motion. And in a pool, when you do that one rip motion, because you do it on slack line, it sounds like you're ripping a sheet. That jig shoots straight up in the air. And you think, man, I'm moving this thing 6, 8, 7 foot. Man, you're not. You're only hopping it maybe 2, 3 foot straight off the bottom max. And so a lot of people don't realize, even though you may be making a big motion with your rod, you're really not moving that bait that far. There's a lot of resistance in the water, and depending on what trailer, what type of jig, it can be worse or it can be better. That's why we always use like an Arky style jig with the trailer that really didn't have a lot of motion, because it lets it hop straight up. And so we're trying to catch the spinning bass that aren't very aggressive. And that was always a really old school August, late July technique when it's hot and they don't bite. Maybe you can see them down there on a graph, or back then you couldn't see them. You just, hey, I'm in an area that's got fish, and they bite it, and they always bit it when it fell right back in front of their face.
And the crazy thing is too, is like going between different like combos and things like that. You could throw the exact same thing on something that says it's the exact same length, you know, weight restrictions, medium, heavy, blah, 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 whatever. That's why you got to get out there and you got to try doing, you know, everything different, or, you know, go outside the norm and just, you know, try something, try anything. If it's a slow day.
Yeah, because like a Kistler 7 foot heavy is totally different than, let's say, a Veritas 7 foot heavy.
Yep, 100%. And that's the big thing that I've noticed too. Like I got into a huge groove. Vendetta, Abu Garcia Vendetta was my jig rod for the longest time ever. And, you know, I broke something on it and I retired it, and it went to the fishing rod cemetery. But the rods that are the same schematics or, you know, whatever specs as the other are not the exact same. So you just got to try everything different and, you know, just adapt and try to do the best you can, you know.
I think part of that, Dizzle, is there's like not a universal system that says if your rod's in this spec and at this, you know, wavelength or however you want to call it, it's a medium heavy. Every brand company's got their own definition. Some of these West Coast rod companies, like Phoenix, for example, they're heavy. Man, that ain't heavy to me. That's like a light medium heavy. So if I buy a Phoenix rod, and I always get it about a power and a half more than what I want. So if I want a medium heavy from Phoenix, I order their extra heavy.
Yep. And that's the big thing where Debo and I kind of, you know, talk and, you know, he doesn't necessarily disagree with me, but I'm always the kind of guy that I want to get my hands on it before I actually buy it, to be able to somehow kind of get a better feel for it. You know what I mean?
Bluegrass bass and from Eddyville, Kentucky. Yeah, this is where my parents live, man. What's up, man?
I've got, let's see. So I know Bassel's chap, I was not falling asleep. I'm trying to get through comments and pick. It skips ahead. I hate it when that's the only thing I hate about StreamYard. Like if it gets behind on comments, it'll just skip to the most recent and everything in behind. So I'm like going behind. I start a couple there. W-Trax was asking about a good light braid. Yeah, I would say 30 pound. A couple people said that too. If you're looking for a braid on a bait caster to kind of do everything, 30. is my go-to.
I'd agree
I
with
don't
that.
do it a ton, but
You know what I'd recommend, Debo?
Mend it.
Mend It. Yeah, if anybody's got a Mend It contact, we're still trying to get Randy sponsored by Mend It.
Dude,
How about
Mend It.
these? Dude, that guy carries it. You know how you'll have your everyday carry stuff? That guy's got a special thing on his belt for Mend It. So this is the Papa Waka from Thunderhawk Lures. Kind of cool. It comes with an extra tail, but it's a larger. The bait itself is 4 inches, and it's got a soft plastic tail on the back of it. So it was new
I
for
like
them.
that.
I didn't
That's
see it.
definitely unique.
Yeah. And the front reminds me of like a Lucky Craft gunfish. It's got just like a little bit of a popper mouth, but it's not big. It's not oversized at all. You can see it's just like the size of my pinky. So yeah, I want to take this out and try it tomorrow. Walking bait with a soft tail. Hopefully the tail doesn't suck like durability and get ripped off.
I think it's still
good,
get bit even if your tail come off. I like the looks of that.
Yeah, so they sent me a couple of those. I'd show them off, give away one.
I feel like I have a swim bait that's similar to that. It's not obviously topwater, but
dude, we talk about stuff coming around. Yeah, Randy, because remember when I was saying that day, I've got an old, I'll have to see if I still have it, but the way the tail hooks on is the plastic goes down into the hard plastic there. It's like a T shape. I've got an old lipless crank that I used to throw. Never caught anything on it. Baxter probably knows who makes it. But the lipless crank head is hard. It's got one treble hook on it. And the back of the lipless crank is a soft plastic.
All right, so we're talking about topwater. I got to ask you, I'm really interested in Dizzle's opinion on this bait.
Baxter, you ignore me on that question.
Number one, it's hard to get this package open. I got it. This is a popper.
It's probably got some sort of clamshell dealing with it, huh?
The WP69, the Flash Boost.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those before.
I was kind of skeptical of this. I'm like, what are they trying to sell me from Shimano? And on Tackle Warehouse, most colors were out of stock. And I was like, well, I'll just settle for this clear and blue one. But I like chrome blue stuff. And to be honest, once you add that little piece of metal in there, that Flash Boost, it looks like it's got a little, I don't know if you can even tell on here, but there's a little flittering pin in that metal, and you can see this spring back here. It just makes the thing vibrate. So now I got a chrome popper. I didn't think it was going to be like this. So I was kind of excited about this. And it has a little rattle going back and forth here.
I'm just wondering how long.
Is that like plastic? Is that like a plastic rattle in there?
No, it's a metal BB. And it goes horizontal to the bait instead of vertical.
Which makes
sense.
But
then you got this Flash Boost thing in here. Dude, this is wild.
I'm wondering how long that little shimmery, shaky part in the middle will actually last. So if you get a couple of good, like real good strikes on it, I'm wondering if something will get out of whack in the inside or fall apart or something like that. But I've seen those before in more of a not a popper, but like a stick, like a walking bait. I've seen those in Debo. I sent you a text, months and months ago, and I was like, "Hey, have you ever heard of this Shimano bait?" Because it's got the little whatever you want to call it in the inside. But yeah, oh Jesus, I knew you were going to grab that comment.
What are your things? No, this is kind of interesting because I'll start off. We're each going to answer it. We already know Randy hates him, but for bank angling, like as far as storage, like amount, what's the I don't know the word, but as far as like trying to store a bunch of it, yeah, it kind of sucks because you can't store a ton of them because they take up room. But as far as bank angling, you know as well as I do, if you keep stuff in your backpack long enough, especially like a fluke, they get all kinked up and jacked up looking. So for certain baits, I actually appreciate the clamshell. I don't think it's necessary on everything, but that's me. What do you guys think?
So there's two ways I look at it. As a fisherman, I sometimes do not like
hold on real
clamshell.
fast. Debo stood up. Everybody take a drink. Sorry, go ahead.
As a fisherman, sometimes I don't like the clamshells because if I'm in a hurry, I just want to be able to grab whatever, and then I get nervous, and sometimes the clamshells won't seal back up, and you go to pick the bag up, and they all fall out. Now, when I worked retail, I liked clamshells because they're so much easier to display nice. The bags didn't teeter-totter. They're always nice and it's
Sure.
great. But I'm a guy, right now I don't have a boat. I almost bought one the other day, by the way. But I'm going to organize my stuff in bags, and put them
I'm
on a
going to
boat.
consolidate all of the stuff that I have because I have a bad habit of going out and buying, oh, I need this jig trailer, or I need that stick bait, or this or that. And then I come home and I find out, oh, I already have 2 bags of that already.
Yep.
So I'm going to pull them out of the clamshells and I'm going to dump them into one bag.
It's an old Berkeley bait there, isn't it, Debo?
I don't remember who makes this, but yeah, this is the one I was talking about. But the connection, that T connection, is exactly the same as this one. And this is from when I was like little. So this is like,
I'm pretty sure that's a Berkeley bait. I
30,
had some
30 years ago.
I might actually have one right here.
Yeah, they're cool.
Ball.
I never caught anything on it. I had a couple of them. I must have lost some, but I know I had like a silver one too.
I'm trying to find a lure that I can find to pull out and be like, oh, hey, Debo, here's a frog with a double shindo tied to it with some fluoro on it.
I appreciate that. I know you've got a case of Guggen stuff back there.
It's all in my truck. You know this.
Every time I go to grab a bait, I end up knocking 10 more over.
Oh, wait. I do have... Oh. Get on hook.
Oh, crap. And I didn't even... I forgot to say, we're at an hour. Let's do a giveaway. I got a random box.
Yeah, let's do a giveaway. Let's give something away.
I completely
got
forgot about that.
I still have yet to tie it up.
I still have yet to catch anything on an A-rig. Baskik, I don't know if he's still in here. Baskik made it like the clearest to me for... He's like, just think of it as a big spinnerbait when you're throwing it around at fall.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because I see these guys throwing them like out in the deep and stuff, and I'm like,
man,
yeah, I don't know. So anyway, this is some random stuff I was grabbing. Randy's probably going to be angry. Baxter, Randy's trying to get a Guggen sponsorship, so don't hate him. But
I'm not going to get. Listen,
Randy
I'm not going to be
him,
like some other people. I'm not going to do the Guggen hate. I know before in my previous streams back in the day, I used to kind of get on a tangent, but you know what? I'm not going to do that. And
same, man. We love everybody around here. We don't care,
dude. So John B reached out to me on Instagram, said he'd love to do a stream with me, and I think it'd be amazing that he's the guy that represents Guggen, I represent 6 Cents, and we could talk baits and kind of mesh it out.
This thing doesn't show in the highlights very well, but it's like a highlighted like pumpkin, not pumpkin, PBJ. Yeah, when you look through it, like right now, this thing looks pure purple, and right now it looks brown on the screen. These are cool.
It's kind of like chameleon color, isn't it?
Yeah, Moorhead baits. I don't know. They make some cool little finesse cross. So we'll throw some of those in. Guggen crank. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to run through these quick. I got some of the best flat sides around out there. The Fritz side, awesome little deal. Monster Bass buff that came in one of the things I don't use. I've got enough buffs. I'm not going to use that one. Arashi Lipless, the self-riding Lipless. These things are pretty sweet. Have you ever used one of those?
They have the tie that goes back and forth.
Yeah,
right?
the metal tie self-rights itself, so it never gets off kilter.
Yeah, I've got one of those. They're actually a pretty good lipless.
This is from Pig Jigs, the small tackle companies. Love that stuff. Always love supporting those guys. He makes some cool stuff. He made a special Debo Tequila Sunrise jig set for me.
This
is an old Bagley I found. If you guys want this, I'll throw it in. I'm never going to use this. I don't know where this came from. It's like,
how deep is that?
Yeah. So use it trolling for some Walters. If not, give it to one of your buddies and tell them it's a square bill. I've got a custom in here, Chatterbait custom. I think the best.
Did you say tell all your buddies that's a square bill?
Yeah, tell one of your buddies that's a square bill that doesn't fish much.
That's what kind of fishing buddy he is. He's like, here, go throw this. It's a super
Baxter like this one.
Diver. You won't get.
Oh yeah, Vega Frog's a good one.
So I just grabbed a little bit of random everything. I do need to throw some swim baits in here. Let's get chat going on a giveaway. This is like, I feel like I might need a square bill in here too. I gave you a flat side, but I tried to get like a little bit of everything. So this is going to somebody that maybe is starting out fishing. Was my thought behind it.
Hey,
who knows who will win,
do you have much plastics in there or like terminal at all?
I should probably do more.
Because
I've only got that one thing of plastics.
if you
What?
don't,
What?
I'll pull some stuff out of mine and throw it in there for you.
Okay. We'll get a bunch of random stuff together. So I'll get this going. While
Imagine
I'm
I
doing
could
this,
throw
you
something
guys,
in a giveaway. I got plenty of stuff hanging around here. I got to get my. It took me 3 months to get some giveaway packages out, but
dude, have you ever heard of a thermal printer?
I have. I used to use one all the time.
Dude, best investment I have ever made. Oh my god, dude! It's
I
like
got a lot of football cards I need to sell, so I've been thinking about buying one anyway.
I think mine was like I got it on the Amazon. It was like a
Wait, thermal printer. We got a drink. That's
dude.
part of the
I
rules.
will drink a whole bottle of something. Like it's I can't express how much of a time saver it is because every time I go to the post office, 30 to 45-minute wait every time. Every time.
Yep.
So I can do anything from here, ship giveaways out. It's amazing. But anyway,
somebody mentioned the
I'm gonna get
dancing
this
eel.
going.
I actually have one. Check this out. This is like
That's the Bill Dance one, dude.
I was gonna say, is
Retro.
the Bill Dance and eel?
is
Retro
this
freaking hook me
now?
up
Think
before.
about this. Is this kind of like one of the original swim baits? I mean, before swim baits took their shape,
I don't.
these were made out in
What's
the
it supposed
80s.
to do in the water? Is it a diver? Is it a shallow? Is it deep?
It's
Is
a
it?
dancing
Yeah,
eel,
it goes
Randall.
about 2 or 3 foot and just sits there and wiggles. If they could have figured out a way to run some kind of wire down here where you have a hook in the tail, I think it'd be better. But
Oh yeah, I'm sure you're probably getting a lot of short strikes on that tail itself, and not even getting
And
close
look
to
at
that hook.
this. They even get scientific on you. This is the Elver size, a young adolescent eel. Now you know.
I mean, I feel like the dancing eel should make a comeback. Like, you see, all these challenge videos, I don't watch them much anymore, but I feel a dancing eel challenge would be a great video. Because there's going to be people, younger people that like, I've never even heard of this. And then there's going to be some old school guys, if you catch one, that it'll bring back those memories. And he had that
Right?
dancing, swimming crawfish, too, if you remember that.
I don't remember that one. Okay, let's see. Let's get a giveaway going. Then we're going to talk. If you guys see anything, people are already guessing at what I haven't even put anything in the giveaway yet. People are hashtag. We got double wide beaver.
Hashtag,
we got clam shells. We got big beavers. We got Baitman.
Hashtag stubby
Chat's out of
pillow.
control tonight. Hashtag stubby pillow. So when I ran up there real quick earlier, when I went on mute and ran out, Stubby Dog has also been known to be a garbage dog. And will literally, he's like 55 pounds. He's a pretty stout little dude. But he'll literally just grab the trash can, pull it over, and then just eat whatever's in there.
My lab does the same thing.
God, dude, he's the best dog. I love him to absolute death. I don't know why he eats garbage though. MV, gosh, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Mavira 1976. Sorry, brother. First live, best stream of YouTube, guys. Keep it up going, dude. Thank you for the $10 bomb. I appreciate you guys that have been donating. I know times are kind of tight for a lot of people right now, so that's why I've been trying to give away a bunch more of my tackle. I've got, obviously stuff that's just sitting here, so trying to give some of that away. Keep that going. I appreciate all the support that I get. So let me get the giveaway tool going here. If you guys see a question, grab one. We can all answer one. I always love doing those, getting everybody's different take
I like
on it.
the questions. If not, I'm just going to keep pulling baits out.
Yeah.
I know you like frogs, Debo.
Word on the streets, I do enjoy frogs.
And for those of y'all that hadn't watched my video, I bought this on Tackle Warehouse. Here's how I browse Tackle Warehouse. I click new items, and I go look at all the new stuff that I probably don't have.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't realize when you click new items, you can go back through the categories, and sometimes there's newer stuff in the categories that hadn't put on, like the featured new. And so I found this guy. Let's do your giveaway first, and I'll show this frog.
Oh, no, we got to grab entries here. So hashtag tackle for everybody. So they'll have to type it in, and then we'll see. So I'm going to take this off. Yeah, if you're watching, hashtag tackle for a random bag of stuff. I'll throw some more things in there. But I was just grabbing stuff before. Thermal printer, take a drink. Dude, thermal printer is, I can't talk about them enough. All right, what you got, Baxter?
So this is a pretty cool frog. This is from a company called
Dude,
Debo must have
we
ordered
freaking-
one.
dude,
We live 1,000 miles apart, but so this is a toe thumper frog in a bone color. So it's kind of a little fat boy. It's kind of wide. It's got some unique stuff. One, it's pretty dang soft. This is pretty soft.
I like how the hooks are already bent up too.
Yes, and so there you go. I was going to order two. And I was going to order that color, but it's hard to get me off bone. But it's got these little slots there where the treble lays. You got a little squeegee hole
nice.
here. It's weighted in the back. And I like that it doesn't have stupid long legs. I'll trim my legs about that length. But this is the walking version. This is kind of an underground company, but the reason I bought it, I had a guy text me about 2 months ago. I don't know which event he was watching, something MLF. He's like, dude, have you ever heard of toe thumper lures? I'm like, no. And he's like, you need to turn on MLF. I forgot who it was. Dude was wrecking them. And I'm like, how do you even know that company? He said, well, he actually name dropped them. He said, I picked this little deal up off Facebook called a toe thumper. Man, I really like it. And so
I knew nothing about them.
I tried to find them, and their company sold out on Facebook, and then they pop up on TW. I'm like, well, I better grab one. And I'm pretty impressed with this, especially for a company I've never heard about. I like this thing.
I said the same thing. Yeah, I said the same thing. It seems to be really well made. The only thing with me, and I don't know how you feel on this or what your thoughts are, it's glued down here, which I don't like because then the body can't move out of the way of the hooks. I'm a big proponent of frogs that when you get a bite, every time you get a frog in, you normally see the frogs twisted around and the hooks are in the fish, right? So I'm a big fan of those because like some of the frogs, I forget what the company is. It's a well-known one. I personally don't care for them because every time like you catch a fish, the frog will come down like this after, the nose wears out a little bit. The body will pull down and the body can't roll out of the way. So it's like all bunched up down here. So I'm a big fan of like frogs that can roll out of the way of the hook. So that's my only thing of like.
Yeah, I mean, like,
but
I like a scum frog, snag proof. That they do pretty well.
Yep. I'm gonna tie that on for tomorrow. Actually, I have the old Spro Freak on.
I'm gonna cut it off before you get a chance to throw it. Hey, you got a donation there, Debo?
I do. Yep. I'm trying to get down to that one. I'm trying to go through all the questions I've got and star and stuff. I've got a couple stars.
You got a few tackles in there, I think. One or two, maybe.
Let's see. Hashtag garbage dog. Yes, he is a damn garbage dog. Hashtag tackle. Okay. Let me get to the comment, the donation real quick because to all the hashtag tackles now.
There were so many tackles that just showed up. I didn't even get to the top of tackle, hashtag tackle, when I scrolled up.
Yeah, I think my chat's behind because there's a good one from Punch. Punch had a good question in there. I'll star that. I love that I can star stuff now. I finally upgraded to the pro version. Whoa. Duffy's Fishing. We have a Duffy's car shop out here. Backs to the Baitman was right.
Classic
the Lipless with the soft tail is the classic car shop, yes. With the soft tail is the Berkeley Powerbait Power Rattle.
Yep.
There was a similar Frenzy version as well. Awesome. Thanks, Duffy. Dude, you didn't need to freaking donate for that. I appreciate that a ton, man.
Yeah,
Frenzy is like
donators, man. That's nice when guys do that.
It means a lot. Yeah, it means a lot.
Regardless
of
Frenzy belief, people think you get 100,000 subscribers, you're making $100,000 a video, and it really doesn't work that way.
I wish.
100,000 a second is what DEBO'S making.
Speak of the stubby dog, there you are. I had to put the trash up. You want to say hi to everybody? Hold on.
Mr. Stubbies.
My sharing screen. Come here. Want to say hi to all the people? Mr. Trash Dog.
Mr. Stubbies.
There's the stubby dog. He says, nah, screw you. I'm going to go find some trash and a pillow. How much does the frog weigh? Does it say on here? That question real quick. I'm guessing probably a half ounce. It feels like a half ounce frog. Doesn't say, but it's decent sized. I'd say probably half ounce. Okay, 173 entries. Can we get to 180 even? I hate like not even numbers. We get to 180, I'll pull it. Let's get to the start questions. We'll answer this one real quick. Fat Guy Basson said, at what point would you cut back from bigger worms and move back down to smaller ones like finesse worms? So I'm guessing he's saying, in summer, throw a big 10-inch ribbon tail or a big shaky head. What time do you start dropping down to more finesse stuff?
I'm going to be honest, right now. This is the time of year where I'll stop that 9-inch, 10-inch worm. And I really like a ribbon tail for fishing my brush piles and stuff out here deep when we used to have the grass lines. But right now, I'll actually go to old school Zoom Mag 2 7-inch ribbon tail. Go to even lighter weight on a Texas rig. Really slow down. I seem to get more bites on that smaller profile ribbon tail. As far as a Magnum trick worm or something like that, or those big flirts, I'll go down to the smaller size in those. And it seems right now when it's tough, those late August blues, early September transition, those smaller profile worms get bit a lot better.
So I took that question.
Those shake my head worms from Z-Man?
Bro, I got some of those too.
I swear
to God.
I just picked some of those up with the I like their head. I like the head style, the shake my head.
Yeah.
Head.
So I took that question a little bit
I got
differently
smoked purple
as far as
and then some other one.
As when?
Love me some purple. What color did you get?
Snakes.
Oh.
It's got purple flake in it too. So that sold me.
I like the hot snakes. Okay, we're at 188. Okay, let's draw real quick and then I start a couple questions. I am sharing, right? Yes. All right, for a rando bag of tackle, a little bit of everything in there for you. Tonight's random winner. And our whiteboard here, sponsored by Shannon Wagner, sponsored by Mr. Randy. I wrote all the member winners here. So
congrats, Shannon.
Everybody. This is actually really nice. Shannon Wagner. Cool. Yeah, this is actually really nice, Randy, for all of my giveaways and stuff because I lose track of people, believe it or not. But now that I've got a thermal printer, did I mention I got a thermal printer? They go out a lot quicker. So, okay, so let's see. Shannon, congrats. Thanks, everybody, for entering. Thanks for hanging out. We're at 300, and we were at 330 people there. That's crazy.
323.
You're too damn kind.
Heck yeah.
Too damn kind to hang out. Okay, so let's see. I saved us a couple questions. I've got some this or that's. Okay, next was from Punch. Punch asks, Punch, thanks for jumping on last week. What's each of your go-to jig trailers? So just a regular flipping jig.
Ooh, I don't know if I have one that's actually I don't flip a jig as much as I flip soft plastic more. But
same.
If I'm flipping a jig, believe it or not, one of my favorite is an old school trailer, a Zoom Super Chunk. Man, I've caught a lot of fish just flipping a Zoom Super Chunk on a jig. There's nothing fancy about it, but it catches them. I would say that or a pack of crawl or pack of chunk.
Pack of crawls are good too, yeah. Mine, believe it or not, it's Randy was going to say it probably. Rage Craw. I know Randy likes the Rage Chunks, but probably my favorite, and I know it's more of like a cold water deal, Back to Reaction Innovations. I'm not sponsored by them. Although, if they wanted to, that'd be awesome. I went down that road a little bit, and I kind of got shot down, actually. So I don't think that'll ever happen. I joked
you just
around.
Gotta get the right guy. I know the guy. We might could get you a care package. Even though I don't need that.
They actually sent me a care package quite some time ago. They were good to me. But the Smalley Beaver, dude, ever since I found the Smalley Beaver, and I don't throw a big,
you're welcome.
I pretty much swim a jig or do a finesse jig. So if we're talking like doing finesse jig stuff, dude, these little guys are just, and this color too, I think this is one that's really overlooked with that little bit of chartreuse in it. It's called Infection. It's green pumpkinish brown mixed with black and then chartreuse in it. So you don't have to like tip it or anything. And I think that chartreuse around here, you can mimic bluegill with it, hopping around. You can mimic craw. Our craws don't have, I don't think I have that claw. And it's not that freaking stank claw. But our crawfish around here have, it's like a weird green. Actually, I can show you a picture. the rusty crowds will get this weird, like almost like the side of the bluegill on the cheek, you know, they'll get this like greenish blue. So I think that that chartreuse really kind of plays on that, but I'll show you. Randy, how about you? What's yours while I'm trying to find the crawl?
So, I mean, obviously, you've already said what
Feature.
mine is. It's the old Strike King there. Like the big thing about that is, I guess, the big difference between what you like to throw versus what I like to throw. I like more of a compact, smaller trailer, and the only thing I have is those two little craws at the end, or two little claws, I should say, at the end. I don't want all the extra phalanges sticking out everywhere and things like that.
Tarsals and metatarsals.
Yeah, and you know, the body itself also. So nothing wrong with the Smalley Beaver whatsoever, but that's a wider body when it as comparison to like any of the like the Rage Craw or the Chunk Craw themselves. They I don't know. I just like the smaller profile, that smaller body itself when it comes to a jig.
Yeah, that's kind of why I like that super chunk. It's you know, it's not a full crawl or anything. It's just enough to put on there. And you just have a couple little feet. Pack of chunks the same way. Like if I'm flipping a jig, I like a chunk, or even fishing out deep. And I'll go to like a pack of crawl or full Rage Crawl. I've even used the Structure Bug or the Stroker Crawl from 6 Cents. I like that when I really want a bulky presentation.
Yeah, my big thing is when I'm throwing a jig, the biggest thing that I want are the two claws. I don't necessarily need anything else.
Dude, there's a lot of guys that just throw old school Yamamoto double tail on the back of a jig, and it catches.
I actually came across a bunch of what are the little pork trailers that you thread on there? I can't remember what the brand is, but those are just
Uncle Josh, the old Uncle Josh's.
Yeah, just two claws. That's all you got.
Yeah, power bait, actually, there's quite a few people, and that's honestly because I'm kind of like Baxter. I don't really flip a jig. I would just rather flip a Texas rig. Like,
I feel my hookup ratio flipping soft plastics is a little bit better than jig. But the jig gets bigger bites when I'm flipping.
I think during, was it the live or was it last week? I think Gramps said it best when he says the jigs catches the pigs.
He does.
I mean, my biggest fish outside of, you know, probably, I hate to say this, my first 5-pounder came off of like a micro spinnerbait. Outside of that, the rest of my big fish have all pretty much been on jigs. Oh wait, who was it, Debo?
That was you.
Philip?
Oh, I got.
No, was it Philip G?
So these are the power chunks, and these actually look nice on the back. I'm a threader. I don't do the whatever you call where you put just the nose of it on and it's got the whole thing. I don't like that.
You'll have to excuse me. I think my kids are getting into something outside. I'll be right back.
Okay.
No worries.
But yeah, here's another one, Randy, that you might want to try. These have just like two little deals that stick out. Kind of cool looking. But
yeah, I was trying to think of what the little pork chunk trailers were. I had a bunch of them.
Oh God, that stuff stinks. Okay, let's see. What else do we have for questions? I'll wait until Baxter's back for the other one we got, because we got a this or that, which are always fun. Fish in the Southeast. That's an easy one for me. Skinny dipper. Skinny dipper is probably my favorite swim bait of all time. Skinny dipper or the no, that's all good, dude. Skinny dipper or the little dipper probably are my favorite pairing of swim baits of all time. I've had the best luck.
Yeah, I would probably go with that. Debo, what time was it? I had it kind of marked.
Oh, and Shannon's an Iowa boy or girl, I guess. I don't know, but
Chris Russ asked at 8:58, have you seen the Z-Man's purple rain color?
Ooh.
I looked it up real quick and I thought
is that a new one? Somebody was asking me about that. I have not. Let's see here real quick. Oh, and Shannon, I'm sorry. I didn't even tell you how to Shannon, email me at debosfishing@gmail.com with a screenshot of your YouTube page so I know it's you. Believe it or not, I have had people trying to swindle me out of stuff that weren't actually winners. But just send me a screenshot of that and then your address, and I will get that out next week, thanks to my thermal printer.
Tackle Warehouse has pretty good sale on some Z-Man stuff right now.
Let's see.
God, these kids.
David.
What in the world?
Dude, I got kids too.
Oh,
Don't ever
sweet.
apologize.
I've been looking for these. All right, go inside.
Thanks. Now get out of here.
Yeah, I've been looking
you never
for
have
these
to apologize
Waterland
for the kids,
sunglasses
dude.
for like 3 months, and he's like, "Hey, I found this in my school bag." I'm like, "What?" Okay.
Oh, in your school.
You
Wait,
little thief.
hold on. Let's back this up here a second. Yeah.
David Galloway with a 20 bomb, dude. Hey, if you have a question, Mr. Galloway, make sure you leave it. Too kind of you folks to be dropping the bills tonight. I appreciate it a lot.
Dude, David, that is awesome. I commend you, and I hope all your children are born naked.
Yeah, that would be a good thing. That would be good. Let's see. Patrick. Okay, so let's get to David. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the $20. Mr. Randall Williams Sully, this or that. Sweet Beaver versus Rage Craw versus Pit Boss. You only get one for the rest of your life.
Sweet Beaver.
I think I would have to go Rage Craw. As far as versatility, I like the Sweet Beavers, but like if I'm going to pitch it on a Texas rig, and I like the Sweet Beaver or the Rage Craws enough on a jig, I'd go with that. Pit Boss was an old favorite Texas rig, but I don't ever throw those on jigs. I think they're a little bit too bulky.
I'm hands down
here to see what you think about this. You may
What
have.
is it?
Speaking of Pit Boss, you got any of these, Debo? The Beast Coast Flipping Delight.
I've not tried those. No, I've just got the big craws with the 2 arms. I haven't tried any of their new
You
stuff.
will like this clamshell, Dizzle.
I was gonna say that kind of looked like what is
I
it?
did
Sixth
think belly
Sense
bass
has
stuff got
something
turned
maybe
off.
similar to that.
Yeah, I thought it might be closer to that, like that stroker craw, but it's really basically a beefed up Pit Boss.
Gabe's in the house.
Good
Said, "What's
looking.
up to everybody?" What's up, Gabe? 10 Horse Monty. Oh yeah, it does look like a Pit Boss.
It's a little bit thicker. God, it freaking
Okay.
stinks too. But the tentacles are a little different. And I don't know if you can see it on the webcam here, but it's kind of got a little bit of a flange there. So you are getting a little action. Oh man, that webcam looking good now.
Yeah.
And that's, I think they call that purple gill. Dude, if it's got purple in it, I buy it. I don't care.
Same.
I mean, that's just a confidence thing for me. People say, "Why are you always buying purple?" I'm like, dude, I'm just confident. I catch a lot of fish on that color.
Supposedly, per the most recent scientific study, anything with purple in it is supposed to be like the bee's knees, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna jump out there and I'm gonna say rage shell. It doesn't matter. Anything rage, I'm gonna go with over pretty much anything else.
Another this or that. Keep rolling into this or that's, folks.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
actually caught up to comments, which never happens. I think something was wrong with chat there for a while. I think it was froze on my end. Ned rig or shaky head? Where does the line blur? Because to some, a Ned rig could be a shaky head. I mean, you got like the Ned worm.
I was just gonna say like
jig worm. Sorry.
A shaky head could be, you know, if it gets bit off a couple of times, turns into a Ned rig. So,
yeah, I actually think I'm a shaky head guy personally. I do throw the Ned rig, but I've had way more success on a shaky head. And I think a lot of that's where I live too. But as our smallmouth population continues to boom, I feel they like a Ned rig better in the shaky head for some reason.
I think they do as well. Like that smaller, littler, you know, profile. God, I'm gonna have to probably go shaky head. I'm gonna go shaky head because I could turn my shaky head into a Ned if I need to. That's probably cheating,
that
but I'm
mushroom
going
style
with it.
head though.
I also think there's a point where everybody's saying, "Oh, that's great for a Ned rig. That's great for a Ned rig." That to me, when you say Ned, I'm thinking 1/8 ounce or less, tiny hook, tiny bait. Once you start getting above a 4 or 5 inch bait, I'm a shaky head guy.
Same. Yeah, Ned rig's like a finesse down shaky head, to be honest. I mean, for what it's worth. Got another good one here. Roland, best lipless, red eye shad or a rattle trap. I've personally had more luck on the rattle trap, and if we want to talk about best bang for the buck, I've probably caught more fish over the years on just a regular old cotton cordell super spot. Highly underrated. You used to be able to get them at Walmart for like $1.99. I don't know if they still do, but cotton cordell super spot, just change out the hooks because the hooks are garbage.
Yeah, I'm gonna go KVD red eye just for the simple fact that I remember I was out fishing one year and I broke off a red eye. I was fishing the next year and I came back and I snagged that exact same red eye. I pulled it out, changed the hook, and I'm fishing with it again. That's the only reason why. And I like the red eyes too. So
there you go, Debo.
Yeah.
Jimmy Houston super spot.
Oh, you got the old one, yeah.
Old school, right? So this was the first company that come out with the Rayburn Red.
I was just gonna say that's the old Rayburn Red. Yep.
Yeah. To answer that question, I'm a rattle trap guy, man. When I was 8 years old, I caught an 8-pounder bank fishing off of, it's called Lake Fork Special. I think it was RT 131, and I love the rattle trap. I still do. You know, there's so many good lipless out. There's a red eye shad. There's the jackal. There's the 6 cents baits, and they get thrown a whole lot. And guys overlook a rattle trap. And there's days you can come behind those guys with a rattle trap, fishing grass lines or whatever you're doing, and they absolutely munch it. There's something about that sound.
I gotta jump in there and say I'm jealous of 8-year-old you for catching a freaking 8-pounder.
Yeah, same. 8-year-old you has beat both of us in PB.
Yeah, so I kind of remember that when I was little because I had to have my dad's help. I'm not gonna lie. I hooked it and it jumped, and he goes, "Son, you better hold on." And I find it and find it. And finally, he's just like, "You're gonna lose this fish," and he just kind of grabs the rod. And we're bank fishing. Didn't have a net, and he got down there. We're kind of on like a seawall kind of deal, and he got down there and grabbed it, and it was choked. And dude, I don't know how many pictures he took. My dad was so excited.
Damn, dude, that's crazy.
I mean, I've heard a net's got strong hands, so it's always
a net does have strong hands, or a turkey glove. Let's see, Randall Pink Floyd, Topwater, walking bait, popper, or plopper. If we can only choose one. Oh, Jeff Elliott says the LV 500 too. Man, I have not actually ever even fished one of those. They're more of a jig and bottom type thing too, right? Isn't that how a lot of guys?
Yeah, plopper's a lot, or LV 500 is a lot heavier. It's more of like on the bottom lipless.
Yeah. I don't really fish primarily bank fishing. I don't really fish them that way. Shallow water, beating the bank stuff. If I can only choose one, walking, popper, or plopper. Man, as of late, even the past few years, people have talked about the plopper being dead, but I'm kind of like Baxter. I'm a power fishing guy, and if I can just chuck and wind a plopper and cover water, that's probably my favorite out of all of them to fish. But depends on the time, depends on the place.
For covering water and fishing fast, a walking bait, especially in the fall. For some reason, walking baits, the drawing powers, it's unreal. But any other time of the year, I like a popper really well because I can take a popper and I can put it in some really tight spaces. I'm not the world's best caster, don't get me wrong, but I mean, when the water's up, you can take a popper and get it in between the limbs on a lay down or under a tree. Walking bait's a little bit harder. It's not as forgiving, but fishing in the fall, going to the backs of the bays or off the bank, man, you can throw a walking bait really far, and you can work it fast. You can work it slow. I think the bites on a walking bait get really aggressive too. Sometimes popper, they just kind of slurp the popper. Walking bait, man, they'll just jump all over it.
Next to a frog. Yeah, next to a frog. I actually just had a day where I got on some crazy feeding frenzies, and I was on the wrong side of the lake every time they were going off. But it's been some of the craziest It was
Wasn't
some
it
of the
like 2
craziest
videos ago?
frenzies.
Last
Yeah, a
video
couple videos
too?
ago, dude. It was insane.
Yeah.
I've never seen like 30 fish blowing up. It's nuts. I mean, I've seen fish chasing bait and pushing bait and stuff, but it was. Here's an interesting one from Gabe. He was talking to somebody else about it. But what are your thoughts on the bait fuel, Baxter? I don't know. Hopefully, I'm not. Huh?
I'm not sold on it.
Okay, same. I didn't know if you knew anything.
I'm
I know
not
you
saying
have a
it
little bit
doesn't
more
work. No,
industry
I'm saying it's
knowledge.
a good product. I'm just saying I'm not sold on it.
Same.
But you're talking to a guy, dude. I don't throw scent on much. The most scent I was putting on is like spitting tobacco juice on a worm.
That's how Randy. We're like, yeah, Spike. It's pretty much the only scent we put on. That's because we want the color. So
I quit dipping. Someone probably saw me put some of them out. I went to the Zen pouches, and it's been about 4 months since I've had a dip. So
what's that?
it's just nicotine patches flavored,
Oh,
tobacco free. It's the toughest thing I've had to
Dave.
do. Trust me, I want to dip about every day.
Iowa basketball or Iowa football, either. I'm a basketball guy. I love Iowa basketball, but Iowa football's fun. As long as they're
Football,
beating
come on, man.
Bulls, it don't matter.
Football.
Yeah, I don't root for Iowa, but I don't root against them. I'll root for another school.
Yeah,
Which
see, I'm
school is
Big
that?
Ten, so
The Big Ten just got a heck of a TV deal. I don't know if you've read about that, but
I didn't. Popper, man, there's a lot of Popper love in there. There's a bunch of Popper people.
Dude,
Dude, I like
I
Popper.
have to answer that question with Larry Dahlberg, hands down, because I feel like I could probably do everything else I need to with a Larry Dahlberg that I have to. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I'm so unorthodox that I could just make whatever I need to happen with, that plopper type of bait. I'm sure I could probably walk it if I needed to.
Walk it.
Do you
Bassel's
ever like throw a plopper or chopo and throw it out there and let it sit and just kind of rip it and just you get that
Like a hard pop, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
I did that with the plopper one day. It's one of the most amazing strikes I've ever got. Hit it like right
like a devil horse type thing.
Yeah, I actually was out, Debo. I don't remember what night it was. I was like, oh, hey, I'm gonna go out fishing at this lake. If you want to come out and meet me or whatever. That night, everywhere around me there was topwater action, and I happened to have a plopper tied on it. It was a hard pop, just with a plopper because they weren't hitting anything else on top. I had a few come up and strike at it, but nothing come up and connected. But yeah, that hard, just like a quick little, and it does that big, splurt, I guess you could say.
Yep. Oh,
throws
Chris,
a lot of water too.
Oh yeah.
Chris Russ in the chat, he said walking baits slotted is my second favorite way to catch them. He's another Iowa guy who had on probably my 1 and 2 favorites, the Spook or the KVD Sexy Dog, my 2 favorites of all time. But he was throwing one of the Sexy Dogs and he thinks it was close to a 40-inch muskie on, and finally ended up breaking him off almost when he got it in. So that sucks.
Good. I bet you it stinks so bad.
They do stink.
I'll tell you guys this. I think the wake bait genre is a very underrated
dude,
category of topwater.
I don't know when to throw it, how to throw it, or how to use it. I actually have a couple because I thought, oh, here's a 1.5, striking, whatever, and I grab it and it's a wake bait. And so I have like a handful of wake baits, and I don't know when to use them or how to use them or really anything about them.
Yeah, I feel like this time of year it gets a little bit cooler, and that 70-degree mark's really good time for a wake bait. Now, obviously, I'm talking about like -1s and that KVD 1.5 and the speed wake from 6 cents, stuff like that. Not the big giant half a swim bait wake bait. Those guys fish those a lot at night. But anytime you get that cool temperatures roll in, and this is my theory. Right now, there's no book that says this. I'm not a biologist. When the beginning of the fall happens, you guys ever notice the squirrels get to moving, the deer start moving, wildlife really starts moving around? And that's why I think that wake bait starts working, because there's a lot of animals and stuff scurrying around the water, bass are getting shallow fish, shad are moving up super shallow water, creating that wake, and that's when that wake bait really shines to me. Not very good when it's windy, but when it's calm, slick, got some fog rolling, that wake bait's really good.
Yeah, I want to try them more. Let's see, Bassless. I don't know where your comment went, but go to Fluoro and go to Braid. Do you have a go-to brand or type for each?
Man, I'm a Sunline guy. I like Sunline Assassin. Some guys say they don't feel good bottom contact, but I feel good enough. Sniper's good, but I'll save the $5 a spool and buy Assassin. And Braid, I like Sunline FX1, FX2. But I did buy some. You told me about Suffix Braid. I bought some Suffix last year, and I've been pretty happy with it.
The 832.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, that's a real good one. The Daiwa J braid is probably my favorite, like budget braid. I know people ask me about that a lot. I think that's a super solid braid. As far as Flora, I've been throwing the P-Line Tactical. I've kind of fell in love with, or like the Invisix. I know Randy likes the Invisix.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I've really fallen in love with the Invisix. I think I have it on 3 or 4 different reels now. And as far as braid, I'm gonna go the basic B method and go Power Pro. I love myself some Power Pro.
And people give Power Pro a lot of crap, but I'm going to say, Dizzle, I've never really had any issues with it.
I've never had any issues with Power Pro at all. Like anything that any breakoffs or anything like that, like realistically, when it comes to catching fish, it's 9 times out of 10 for me in this area is going to have to be dealing with like a pike or something like that where they are actually, cutting the line. So
David asked you, Baitman, what's your rigging for the wake bait? So I'm guessing maybe rod, reel, line.
Yeah, so man, I don't throw a wake bait usually on a topwater rod. Most of my wake baits are basically crankbaits. They just dive, 6 inches or whatnot. So I'm usually just a 7-foot, medium heavy, moderate fast cranking rod because it is a treble hook bait. You can use your topwater rod because you got a soft enough tip. Because a lot of these wake bait fish, they won't just come up and blow up on it like a popper or whatnot. A lot of times they just come up behind and just push it down. It's a really weird bite. So I like a cranking rod that's got some flex and some tip on it. You got treble hooks, whatnot. If I'm throwing like a big wake swim bait, obviously I use a swim bait rod. But, 7-foot medium heavy, man, you can do so much with that. If you're a bank guy, you don't got time to carry 50 different rods. So I like a 7-foot medium heavy. Or if you got a good spinnerbait rod, you like a longer spinnerbait rod. That's a really good one for a wake bait.
Now, speaking of lines, I did actually grab some of this on the Tackle Warehouse order to try. Spider wire, I've gone in spurts. Like back in the day, I should say back in the day, probably 5, 6, 7 years ago, I got some of the spider wire stuff. They had it on sale at Walmart. I had great luck with it. And then a few years back, I got some of the spider wire stealth, and it was absolute garbage. So it's been kind of hit and miss with spider wire for me. This DuraBraid stuff they're saying is supposed to be like 25% stronger. I got some 50-pound and then I got some 10-pound. The 50-pound I'll say is pretty thick. Like, I shouldn't say like thick as far as, maybe thick isn't the right word. Stiff. It's kind of stiff. So it's not like a real soft, supple braid. If you notice, it sticks out. It's not real limp, like threadish. So I don't know. I'll give it a try. I had multiple people ask me about it. I think it won the award there, which I don't really pay attention to that because I think that's
it's like a red label versus like a Assassin or Invisix. That kind of stiffness.
I don't even know how to say. Yeah, kind of just, I guess, stiff. So I don't know. We'll see. Have you tried this stuff, Baxter?
I'm not a spider wire guy. I'll be honest. I only throw braid for a few things.
Same. Yeah, I don't throw.
I prefer fluorocarbon. Some people may roast me. I like mono better for topwater wake baits and stuff than braid. I know people say, "Oh, you can throw braid farther." Man, I don't think so. If you get a good mono,
dude. If we're talking mono, the best mono, not 12-pound, but still the best in my book. Trilene in the red box, 14-pound, the crystal clear blue. That way you know It's mono
Yep.
on your rod and reel. Dude.
I've got some like trilene. Man, I got a giant spool of this. When it comes topwater time, spinnerbait time, I like mono on a spinnerbait because I like the fact it's got a little give.
Yep.
This gold trilene max, it actually doesn't have a lot of memory in it. And I bought this spool years ago.
I actually
you had,
think
Randy?
I think I have
Yeah.
like probably a bunch of like either 17 or 20 pound.
You threw that for a
spools
while.
of
I
that.
remember that. Yeah.
This is 14 pound, man. That's my go-to topwater line, and it's strong. You know, like I'm not going to break off on this. It's got enough stretch throwing those topwaters. Even if I use a stiffer rod, I'm not worried about pulling the hooks out. And I can see it. I can see this line.
It's a little bit stiffer too, right?
Yeah. It's a good line, man. I mean,
a
lot of people think the line goes bad really quick, but as long as you keep it in a tackle room, or some people put it in a fridge or whatnot, it's not just going to rot your spool.
Let's see. There was another one that I just skipped. But yeah, Philip said thanks for that. Yeah, I agree, Philip. I kind of want to tie one on for tomorrow too.
I've had a lot of guys ask me to do like a full in-depth wake bait video, and I'd love to do that, but it's not like a square bill where you can use it all year. There's almost like 2 windows for a wake bait. It's usually right there close to the spawn and right here in this fall transition or fall area. And, it takes a special day. It's a special bite, but man, it's fun when it happens.
Trilene XL. We got some Trilene XL fans. People were talking about 8 carrier versus 4 carrier. So
what was
me,
that
like
one? The Power Pro that you had 8, right?
Oh, the Max Quattro. Yeah, that was junk for big. So I had the 50-pound Max Quattro, and multiple people said, Debo, you should know better than that. I actually had never used the Max Quattro before then, but it was the only 50-pound they had. And I had so many breakoffs on that for frog fishing. But most people are saying it's more of like a lighter do-it-all, like topwater or like finesse, like, spinning rod stuff. People have said they had real good luck with it. I know the 50-pound for frogs, I broke off a bunch. So
I don't get into the whole 4 carrier, 8 carrier, just to be honest with you. I'll just find one I like.
Just give me some damn Power Pro, and that's it.
Yeah, man, that's line FX2 I use. It's pretty stiff. Braids just like mono or fluorocarbon. There's some braid that's stiffer or limper than others, and that FX is a little. It's kind of stiffer, but I use it for flipping and throwing swim baits and stuff on. And man, I don't ever break off. Now it's not the most limp line ever.
So here's a good one, Stephen Elmer. That's a good question because. Funny enough, Steve's my dad's name. What would you recommend throwing in the rain? My old man would slap me I guess it depends on what time of year, but pretty much any time when you can throw topwater, my old man would smack me in the back of the head if I'm not throwing a buzzbait, a black buzzbait. So
I was going to say buzzbait, 100%. Like buzzbait is actually probably my top 5 all-time favorite baits. Dude, they just absolutely kill it. And you catch big ones on a buzzbait.
What's your favorite buzzbait? Do you have a couple favorites?
Yeah. Let's see what I got over here. All-time favorite is no longer made. I got one over here from Reaction Innovations, the Squeaky Dolphin. Supposedly they're going to bring it back. This one's got that rusted, squeaky sound to it. You see it's got the rivet down here in the middle of the blade. But it's also interesting. Got a little ball for a knocker. Man, this thing
So is there nothing on the end of that behind the blade? There's nothing there to hold it on. Is the rivet in place?
Yeah, so the rivet kind of holds this blade in place.
Huh, that's interesting. So the blade doesn't move back and forth then?
No, you can see here it's not moving back and forth.
Huh, that's interesting. Never seen that one.
It may have had a rivet and it may have fell off here, but this one doesn't. I've fished this one, but and then this is an Accent Game Changer, and you basically put whatever you want on the back. I had a culprit and cruddy frog back there, but I put
the frog that never misses leg day.
Yeah.
Yes.
I put a 6-inch stroke frog back here. I've put a Jean LaRue frog, whatever. But this one, you can hear it's got some good sound to it. It casts really well, but putting a frog on, you can skip it. Those two. And then I'm going to be honest with you guys. I bought this last year. Was really impressed. It's the Mega Bass Buzzbait. Man, it's got a good sound, good plot.
The Jamaica boa or whatever.
Yeah, I like this thing. Obviously, I've had it tied on.
See, the thing I like about those two, I like when they do that on the Buzzbaits. If I'm not going to throw a plastic, it's kind of like those KVD spinnerbaits where it has that little bit of skirt that's a little bit different and sticks out. Yep. So you don't have to put a plastic trailer on. Because I feel like it's so hard with so many of them. Like once you put a plastic trailer on to get it to run true, like I'm always tinkering with it. Like I never get one that just runs straight out the box.
You got one of these, the KVD Skip and Buzz, or whatever?
I don't think so yet. No.
So I saw this last year, or when it come out, and I said, "Yeah, that's going to be junk. There's too much going on." I filmed a show with Mark Menendez, do his TV show, and they absolutely crunched it. I actually got a YouTube short of me catching one on this. I like this buzzbait. It's not the loudest. It's got a nice little squeak. But man, they eat this thing. I thought, man, that hook's really not that big. They don't come off. They just eat it. This is a really good. But you put that toad on there, this thing casts a long way. Really good buzzbait. So I sometimes we judge our baits, and when we shouldn't. And I'm like, God dang, Mark, we got a show in like 30 minutes, So I had to spend an hour shooting B-roll. And then he's like, you want to fish? I'm like, yeah, I'll throw that buzzbait. And I'm like, yeah, I like this thing. That's a good one. If you guys like this, frogs on your buzzbait, the way this keeper is, man, it holds up forever. But it's a really good buzzbait. They do track a little to the left sometimes, but the wire keeps it pretty straight.
Dude, yeah, with a plastic on a buzzbait, I have yet to find one that always runs true. Like I've been throwing the Picasso, the Hank Cherry one. It's kind of like a little smaller finesse buzzbait, but it's got the lead deal like built into the bottom wire there. I really like that one this year. That's been the main one I've thrown.
And Picasso has stuff all around.
I feel like the only one that's going to run straight is the one that comes already like threaded onto the bait. So like the Strike King ones, those run true. Besides that, you're not going to get any come close to it.
War Eagle makes a really good buzzbait too. They make a
yeah, that's one of my other old favorites. Yeah.
This is the War Eagle buzzbait with their frog on here. So one thing I like about the War Eagle is it's kind of got a bigger blade. But I like that big gold blade. Someone said fishing in the rain. Man, I've caught some really big bass on a War Eagle buzzbait in the rain. But this big blade, so much lift, it's easy for it to stay up near the surface.
What was that butterbait? The buzzbait that had the like additional flapper in the middle, in addition to the big blade. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like a clacker?
Yeah. So here's one. Yeah. This is a handmade deal here. You'll like this one, Debo. So that's a handmade buzzbait. I bought this
purple chartreuse.
Purple, yeah, man, like a jink juice, like purple chartreuse.
That's sick.
Oh, but it's got a little clacker right here. I don't know what exactly they call it, and it just kind of ting 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 around. I paid $2 for this. And that's a deal. I don't care where you're at.
Debo will give
awesome
you
too, especially custom.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best, like as far as sound. Oh, I do have that little one. So this is one Dad and I were out. Speaking of black buzzbaits, I gave Dad one of these. But black buzzbaits, as far as like actual sound, and I wasn't running any plastic on it. I would definitely urge you to check out the Firecracker from Jackal. Dad was pretty impressed with it.
It's a good one.
Like I said, are you a big fan of trailer hooks on your buzzbaits or no?
Yeah, I'll pretty much, if I don't throw a frog on there, I always put a trailer hook on there. Yeah, I had a Firecracker. It's a really cool buzzbait. It's like shimmies in the water. It doesn't just go perfectly. It kind of has this like gyration thing to it.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because of that little, like the little thing there it has to help like stabilize it. But yeah, I noticed this didn't roll or like kick off to one side or anything, which I've heard of guys. Have you ever done that? I've heard of guys that will intentionally bend their blade to kick it off to one side so they can run it down docks or get it like in like a little bit in the deep side or the dark side of the dock.
Yeah.
I've never done that, but
If I try to do that, the next thing I know is I'm going to have a Z chatterbait or a Z buzzbait, and it's never even going to come close to running straight ever again.
I just ordered one of those evergreen big buzzbaits. It's supposed to have a big blade and all that stuff. Dude, I can do a whole stream on buzzbait fishing. That's one of my favorite things to do.
Crocogator, yeah, 10 horse. I've never heard of the Crocogators. I don't remember those.
Oh yeah, I got one right here.
10 horse did say the chug bug, and he has videos on the chug bug, dude. That's a good oldie.
So there's a Crocogator. It's a little bit smaller profile. It's either Crocogator or Chatterbuzz, but this is a good one. It's got a little bit bigger blade. Runs really good. Got a big hook in it. I like that bigger hook, but I'm like I said, I'm gonna put a trailer hook on the buzzbait 90% of the time.
Yeah, same.
I've never put a trailer hook on a buzzbait ever before in my life.
Dude, they just swipe at it so much. If I don't, like, I'm missing them.
Like I've never even thought of like trying to. So like buzzbait without any type of plastic or anything like that on there, and you just throw a hook on, like a trailer hook, like a stinger hook, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's just like I'm doing on spinnerbaits. You do that on spinnerbaits, don't you?
Yeah, I do it on spinnerbaits all the time, but I've never thought about doing that on a buzzbait before.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Your hookup ratio on a buzzbait will go up quite a bit adding a trailer hook, because there's a lot of times they just kind of try to slurp it down, and like they're like grabbing the skirt or try to get the end of the frog. That trailer hook will make a difference.
This
The
isn't
only
my
thing you got to
favorite
worry about
spinnerbait.
Dizzle on a trailer hook with the frog is the legs like wrapping around the trailer hook.
Yeah, so like kind of similar to like a spinnerbait. If you try to throw a trailer and like the stinger hook on a spinnerbait, which is nearly impossible to do.
Yeah, so if I throw a spinnerbait and I put like a swim bait, a Kitech, or whatever you want to back there, or any trailer, I typically won't use a trailer hook, because I feel that the fish actually key in, not on the blades, they're keying in on that little swim bait deal. They tend to eat it quite a bit better.
Favorite spinnerbaits.
Boys,
now I gotta give a plug. I gotta give a plug to some nerd here.
Yeah, man. So I guess if I'm going to have a favorite, special. It's going to be the one that Spot Sticker makes for me. Got my name on it. Debo just put that. Yeah, Debo. Baitman Special Spot Sticker is probably my overall favorite spinnerbait. They're all made in Florida now.
And it's got, can you even see they even have glitter, like kind of like Nichols does. See that glitter on the blade? If we're talking old school, man's spinnerbait was the bee's knees for me for a long time. And I kind of got into like the KVD spinnerbaits. I throw a little bit of everything. War Eagles. I know Randy loves the War Eagles. We fish those a bunch.
Love myself some War Eagle spinnerbaits.
Dude, I like a War Eagle spinnerbait. I throw them quite a bit. So when I grew up really fishing before I learned the ledge offshore game, I would just freaking bang a spinnerbait around the bank all day long, man. I would catch fish, but I like the War Eagle Screaming Eagle a lot. Speaking of, here's a freaking $25 spinnerbait. This is a depth.
Why? Why is that $25?
I did that stream, and people got to pick my baits, and someone said, "I want you to buy this Depth's Be Custom." So I did. I'm true to my word. This is $25, and I'm going to be honest. It looks pretty good, but look at that. It's got pretty much a baby hook in it. It's not a giant hook.
Yeah. I was going to say that hook it's like the shank is really short on it.
Yeah. So it's got a short shank hook. It's got some cool blades, but is it $25 good? I don't think so.
What do you think of those?
I know it's imported from Japan, but you can't tell me you can't catch as many fish on a War Eagle or a Spot Sticker or even a Strike King. Is that really going to make a big difference because it's from Tokyo? I don't think so.
And, honestly, I'm going to feel more comfortable throwing any of those three that you mentioned before that one, because I could buy, 5 of any of those three versus a $25 one. Like,
I think Jackal makes a really good spinnerbait too. The Jackal Dune's really nice. But again, the problem with the JDM spinnerbaits, even the Mega Bass, is they put those small hooks in there. Like, I don't like that small hook. I want a bigger hook. And War Eagle hook is not the biggest, but dude, they don't come off a War Eagle for some reason. The way that O'Shaughnessy style hook is in them, they don't come off.
Compact. I usually don't run a plastic. It seems like the bigger I go, the more I tend to run a plastic for that bigger profile. Compact, I usually don't unless it's something that doesn't have like movement or anything to it, like a straight tail, like the old Zoom straight tail things. I like just a real small. That's actually what I was going to ask you about, Baxter. Those Bassman ones, I got 2 of those from Omnia because they had Tequila Sunrise, which is one of my all-time favorites ever. But have you used those? They're like $12.
I have not. I've heard a lot of good things about them. Rich is pretty high on them. I trust Hellabass. Accent makes a really good spinnerbait. That's one of my top 5 spinnerbaits. I love those fluted blades, man. Something about those.
Like those Jacob Wheeler ones, the Accent.
Yeah, I just like the regular style. No offense to Jacob Wheeler, he's way better fisherman than me, but the original.
That's the only ones I've used. Do they have different? Let's jump over and look. Also, I forgot. We're at 2 hours. We'll just go for maybe 15 minutes more. I know you're an hour ahead of us, aren't you? We'll go for 15. Are you good for 15 minutes?
Yeah, man. I mean,
all right.
I've been bit by every bug under the planet, but I'm good.
Sorry. I actually forgot. So we'll do another giveaway. The lake crew that stayed 2 hours. We still have almost 300 people in here. I've got about 18 million Tackle Warehouse shirts. So here's a large shirt, and then I'll throw some tackle in here because I can put a thermal printed sticker right on this. Let's do another giveaway. Let's see, who do we got here? Then I want to jump over and look at those.
Oh, jeepers.
What was I going to look at? I had something in mind, but I forgot what it was. So if you guys see any questions, go ahead and grab whatever you see. Oh yeah, Terminators are good ones. I had a bunch of Terminators back in the day.
I love the old Terminator night spinnerbaits. Yeah, speaking of, there's one here in the package right here. Whoa, big spider on there. Get that out here. Yeah, if anybody ever finds any of these or can point me in a direction, my PayPal is ready because these are awesome at night. Don't really care much for the other Terminators.
I can't get past the spider that you just like nonchalantly threw to the side right there.
I think it was dead because I absolutely hate spiders, Dizzle. It looked like dead.
That thing was huge.
Dizzle likes spiders. Dizzle loves spiders in clamshells.
Man, I hate them. Like when I used to film hunting shows one time, I climbed out of a tree stand because there was a spider in the tree stand. I said, I'm not doing it until the spider's out of here.
Hey, Debo, how do you feel about ticks?
Dude, I hate ticks. Absolutely.
Do you remember that one? You remember that one live, like probably, I don't know, like a year and a half ago, we did a live and you were like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I got something
There was
itchy.
a freaking tick on you. Yeah, we've been out fishing.
On your head.
Dude, then they're crawling all over you.
That thing has been on you for hours.
Dude, no, he wasn't connected. So he was just.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Hanging on for a ride.
How the hell is like a tick gonna just be on you for hours and not?
Dude, Michael
anything?
Bradley nailed it. That's Randy's right there. The War Eagle with the turtle blade. That's Randy's setup.
I like those.
There was God, what was the company's name? Flamin' Lures, Flamin' something. It was like a local bait maker that was at the Des Moines.
Oh, those accent
bass.
That's what I was gonna look at.
The Bass Fisherman Expo, and they had the turtlebacks there, and they were the first ones that I came across. The only bad thing was they were like 3/4 of an ounce, maybe. They were super, super big, and I don't like throwing big lures. That's not me.
So yeah, my normal accent spinnerbait.
That's what I was just going to look up because I've only thrown those Jacob Wheeler ones. I liked them a lot. They were
so like this whole box. Nice. All this is spot stickers. That's how much I like them.
Are they not? Oh, I looked over it like 3 times.
Dang.
Hey, Dizzle, this is a Plano box.
I was
And I
just gonna
love-
say, what kind of box is that? That
So
seems like a pretty good.
This is the Plano Elite 3700 spinnerbait buzzbait organizer, and I really like this for spinnerbaits. I mean, check that out.
I have the Plano, the more like squared off rectangular one that you stick them, vertical.
Yeah,
I got that one, but that one looks like pretty decent. That looks
this
probably
ain't
a
bad.
little
It's
That's
like
better
pretty
than what I
cool.
got.
$20 on TW. I like it quite a bit, but as many spinnerbaits as I got, I need about 4 boxes of those.
God,
So
the worst
what's
thing
the
about
one you like here?
All the way down, keep going. You see where it says accent Mark Dove? That's the one. Like that's the juice here. A buddy of mine won $50,000 on that spinnerbait on Kentucky Lake.
Yeah, I've never thrown these. Are they kind of a little bit more of a like compact too?
Not really. Let me see if I can grab one here. See if I can find one.
Stubby's going off behind you, huh, Debo?
He keeps running down here. I don't know if he gets upset like if I don't go to bed with him. He's a very needy dog. His head is just rested on my leg here, waiting for me to come up and go to bed with him. You're spoiled, Mr. Stubbs.
So the one thing I did want to ask is,
get to it.
I've never thrown or I've never gone out of my way to buy a spinnerbait with like some sort of inflection, I guess, on the blade, whether it be printed or like some sort of painting or anything like that on there.
Is that a custom color or is that a regular?
Yeah, so before the spot sticker deal, the guy that owns Accent and I talked all the time. He said, I want a new color for Kentucky Lake. And I said, this is what you need. And I sent him some pictures of me actually making this skirt. I actually took some off of Nichols. Nichols makes a color called Clint Shad Spawn. And Clint Davis is big on this color. And so he started making, this is actually a Nichols skirt. And they call this Purple Crush. You can only get it on their website. But the deal on this spinnerbait, look at this blade. See that? They call that
is
a
that
fluted
beaten
blade.
in at the bottom? Fluted, okay.
Yeah, so it knocks. It's got a lot of flash to it, and they put some really good swivels on these things. But this bait's pretty compact. I'll trim that skirt to where it's like right behind the hook, but it's got that what I call pill shape head. It's a good one.
Yeah, because I think
that
those
friggin'
Jacob Wheeler
swivel,
ones,
man.
The only thing I didn't like was I think those only came in a half ounce. And I noticed that one you showed was, I'm not sharing crap.
That one I just showed you
came in 3/8.
Yeah, I like the 3/8 one quite a bit. That one was a 3/4. I fished that one kind of deep. I've got the Jacob Wheeler one with the 3 blades. It's all right.
Well, not that one. That's an ounce. Holy crap. No, the ones I got, it must have been these. I think they only came in half ounce. Yeah, so this is the ones I got. And they run really true. I like those.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to check out
They're
those
a little
local
Indiana company, man. And when they first came out, they're owned by a different company. And there's some guys here on Kentucky Lake that just took everybody's money in the fall, and they were throwing those, and the word kind of got out. And they're a national brand now, paired up with Jacob Wheeler, and he's won a bunch of money on them. But they're really good spinnerbaits. Now, they don't hold up. You catch about 4 fish. Won't have to tune them. But it's kind of weird how spinnerbaits work. Your best spinnerbaits usually don't last for more than 2 or 3 fish.
Yep.
You get a Nichols or spot sticker or something that's got thicker gauge wire, you'll be able to catch more fish on them. And Nichols pulsator is a good spinnerbait, but it's not.
I like
you
Nichols
don't get
too.
the most vibration out of it. You get a lot of flash though.
And they don't have a keeper, so if you ever want to put stuff on it, you can't run any type of plastic. You can, but you're just always messing with it and switching out plastics.
I'm surprised that Dizzle, he talks about the War Eagle. Like this is I really got off track tonight. This is that new Strike King spinnerbait. Very similar to War Eagle, and I put a little 6 cents. It's called the Juggle Minnow on the back of that.
Dude, those are sick. Really, I saw you showing those off.
Really compact profile. I like that quite a bit.
Have you tried those on a chatterbait yet?
Yes, I did throw one in the pond by my house, and it looked really good.
That's going to be at least a half ounce spinnerbait, though, right?
That one I think's 3/8 maybe. It's really not that heavy.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, there's a stealth blade jackhammer with that jugglement on the back.
Dude, those look good as hell on there.
Yeah.
It's like a fluke, but I always tell people with a fluke, if you don't want that big look, like if you have a regular 5-inch fluke and you cut it down, then the
it's
head.
Just like anything else. I mean, some days they may want a bulky presentation on the back of your bladed jig. You know, that's when I like that Beast Coast, Chatter Shad, whatever they call it, Zacho. I like those. Seems in the spring, that bulkier profile is the way to go. When I get to fall, I want something that's smaller, looking more like a bait fish.
Or dirty water. That's another thing for me is like if I have dirty water, I tend to put a paddle tail on too, just so it gives them something to look at when they get close to it. Okay, let's do a drawing. 2 more. We need 2 more. I hate odd numbers. 128. Give me 2 more to 130. We'll pull. Hashtag spider for a shirt, Tackle Warehouse large shirt, and then I'll throw a bunch of tackle in there too. I'm not gonna cheap you out and just send you a shirt. Not that wouldn't be good, but try to hook you up. 2 more. We need 2. There it is. Boom. Ask and you shall receive. All right. Let's draw it. Then we'll do a couple more questions. We got 5 minutes. Then we're getting out of here. Whiteboard sponsored by Mr. Dizzle. Lil Tommy.
Nice, little Tommy. Congratulations, bud.
Shirt and tackle. Yeah, dude, this whiteboard is awesome for keeping track of this. Lil Tommy, send me an email over at DEBO'Sfishing@gmail.com with a screenshot of your YouTube name so I know it's actually you. And then, of course, your address and all that. And I will get you your little care package out, my friend. Thank you for watching tonight. Thank you, everybody. We've had almost 300 people the whole time, which is
heck yeah.
Silly.
I feel like YouTube's really starting to promote the streaming guys a little bit more. There was a period where I
hope so
because it was bad.
Okay, let's see. Let's do a couple more questions. Let's see if we can each get a question in real quick. 4 minutes, this or that, something quick where we're not going to go off on tangents.
While we're waiting for a question, I got to show you this bait. I just got it in the mail. It's kind of a preview of the unboxing coming next week. You remember the monster truck Gravedigger?
Yeah, black and green.
How could you not remember it?
This is like a Gravedigger crankbait.
Oh, dude, that's sick. Is that a Carolina custom?
Yeah.
It's Catching Concepts. It's a little Hermie. For those asking, this is one of those baits I actually collect. I usually don't fish these, but dude, that paint job is sick. And I saw that. I was like, yep, cool, there's $25 gone.
But it's cool to support those guys though.
Yeah,
I don't have trouble paying that for somebody making that stuff. A lot of work goes into that. Baitman shows off his barking spider from time to time.
I tried to let a few fly tonight that weren't too loud, but
they're thick this time of year.
Man, my wife hasn't trying to much lately. So
we've been talking about spinnerbaits so much. I've been trying to find the one that rather than a blade, it had the ball. I can't remember what the hell it was called.
Oh, that was the Yozuri knuckleball.
Yeah.
The knuckleball.
You might as well throw that sucker over the side of the boat and cut your line.
I was just going to say, I actually was cleaning up the garage as Devo was making fun of me at the beginning of this live. I was cleaning up the garage and I came across one that I got in a mystery tackle box. I think I caught one fish off of it randomly because I scared the hell out of it when I hit the water with it. But the thing is ridiculous.
Okay,
I've always wanted to make a video. It's like worst baits I've ever bought. But as I've gotten older and smarter, I just don't make those purchases. So
worst baits I've ever come across.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This or that. Frog or Texas rig. Can only fish one forever. You gotta choose. Dude, all burn days fishing a frog. Catch more fish and like utility, definitely Texas rig. But if I'm only fishing one and if I can choose the way, I'll throw a frog until the sun sets.
There's been, I don't know how many countless times I've been sitting on the shore like a little kid throwing rocks in the water, like, "Are we done yet? Are we done yet?" As DEBO'S just like hucking a frog.
Oh,
I'm a
Randy.
Texas rig guy, baby. I'll do
I'm
it.
going. Yeah,
I'll throw it.
I'm going curveball, and I'm throwing a jig.
Jigs for pigs.
Randy, throw a jig? No. Okay. Do you guys see any? We've got 1 minute. One more.
While we're waiting, I've been wanting to show this. Did you see this new flat A?
Oh no, from
Oh, that's pretty.
the bomber.
Yeah. So this is called Purple Pearl IU. I like the deep version, but they make this in the shallow too. The best part about this is OG bait, man. $3.99 on Tackle Warehouse. So if you're a guy that's a new beginner fisherman that wants to throw some flat side crankbaits, this is one of the best ones to try, and it's not going to burn your wallet. The flat A is an amazing bait.
Dude, Bomber and Norman back in the day, it seemed like they were always on sale. I had a ton of them. About like, what is it, the 100? Or oh no, that was a Bandit. Bandit was the other one too.
Dude, I love a Bandit.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, listen, we're at 2 hours and 15 minutes. For those of you who don't know Mr. Baxter, the Baitman, follow him on the YouTubes, follow him on the Instagrams. Any sign off words? Words to the wise?
Not really, man. First off, I appreciate you having me. We hadn't got together all year, and I'm sorry it took this long. I took a new job and work a lot of hours. But I appreciate everybody joining in DEBO'S stream. I've enjoyed seeing the chat. It's been funny. Great questions. And Dizzle joining in. I love Dizzle and your interaction. And he has some great questions. And I like seeing his perspective as well. But I'm probably going to stream tomorrow night, late night on Sundays on my channel. And probably go over a lot of the stuff that I unbox and answer questions and go off on tangents and stuff like that.
You just better be prepared. I'm throwing curveballs tomorrow night for you. Then
bring me a knuckleball.
All right. Well, you heard it here, folks.
I'm going to get your address and I'm sending you one.
Go crash Baxter's stream tomorrow night. We'll be there. We'll chill for some fish talk. But listen, we're getting out of here. I appreciate you all watching, just like every weekend. And until next live.